Okay. Are we live, I think? Okay. Sorry for being a couple minutes late. I was listening to the NWO Wolfpack theme song and time just kind of slipped away. I don't know how what else to say about it. I don't did I watch any streams yesterday? I don't think I watched any streams yesterday, I don't think. But I did. Bethadone was live this morning. It was a good walk and talk. She chased rabbits, took her top off, went to a site where someone dumped a body after a murder. It was a pretty interesting stream. Vinny Slugga, what's up? Hey, I watched about half of your new video, Vinny, of going to the donut shop. Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me a second. Hold on, let's see if this lighting's any better. I guess. I don't know. Well, now I feel like now never mind. I'll be back. What a disaster. Okay, that'll have to do. It'll improve with the natural light. But anyway, that's all I got for updates. Tomorrow is George Durunda, primetime with George Durunda. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, but it won't interfere with the show, I don't think. Friday wrestling, Saturday Boit Watch with a big Vinny Slugga update. Vinny's expanded his hyper realistic filmmaking beyond McDonald's now into early morning donut shop runs, which I'm excited about. And the members content coming up. I recorded 2 new taste tests finally. One's a pineapple weed drink, which I took and is kicking in anytime now, so you'll be able to get a review of the effects. And then I also finally ate I finally ate that commemorative cookie from the zoo. I don't know if you remember that one or not, but anyway, what's up, Jeremy? But I think that's it for the updates, yeah. All right, well, anyway, Vinny's starting to eat healthy. I know. I can't wait to see what directions the content goes in. And in case you didn't hear yesterday, Bethadone is monetized now, and Bethadone and I are starting a true crime podcast within like the next couple months. But today you guys voted for this. You wanted the you wanted the classic daytime TV shows. So we're going to start off with a 1991 episode of Geraldo, Famous Hoaxes.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome back to the broadcast. P.T. Barnum once said, there's a...
Something important today for a change, like war, women against restricted restrooms. You know, wherever you go in this country, from the nation's capital to the World Trade Center, right here at CBS, there are long
World
lines
Trade
to
Center
women.
reference.
It all started with that poor little girl in Texas who got arrested for using a men's room. Now that is absolutely ridiculous. Would anyone...
Hold on. Did you hear that? That's an interesting... Okay, my high brain's really got to put in some work here. So there was a woman in Texas in 1991 who was arrested for using the men's room. We need to look up and see if we can find a news report of that. I just have to remember, I have to try to put it somewhere where I'll remember it.
This audience like to be arrested for using the closest facility? I mean, come on! Ladies, help out!
Fooled you, hold on. Let us go back, there you go. April Fools.
Well, now I've fallen for a hoax.
We knew that was going to happen. As I was saying, P.T. Barnum once said there's a sucker born
Wow,
every
look at him put his
minute.
leg up there.
Well, it's our bet that even P.T. Barnum would be amazed at the number of people who are deceived and tricked by hoaxes today. Just like, how many people thought that was for real? Yeah.
I thought it was real. No, I thought
More women against restroom.
So, hold on, Geraldo's saying that we'll never have a time when women are arrested for using the restroom.
What was it? Bring her back. I was very curious. Is it for real? Asked Viola. Come on, honey. You know it's better than that. Now, hoaxes can be harmless pranks like that one obviously just was, or like the ones you pull on April Fool's Day. But on the more serious side, they can be well-plotted, devious schemes that range from falsely accusing someone of having committed a crime to wrongfully...
Okay, do you think there's a chance Geraldo will cover the Fresh and Fit hoax from Grace?
Impersonating someone, or just plain outright academic, financial, or scientific fraud. How gullible are we as a society? Today we'll find out as we meet some notorious hoaxers. Meet, for example, Howard Koch. Now, I don't know if we should call you a hoaxer, but he was the mastermind of the greatest hoax, perhaps, of the 20th century. He's the fellow who wrote the famous Orson Welles radio broadcast, War of the Worlds.
Look at her. She's like dripping now.
As you know, that broadcast triggered a national panic. People really thought the Martians had landed in New Jersey. It was a wild one, and it was so real that it was incredible. Now, the next story didn't set off a national panic, but the story covered by New York Times reporter Craig Wolf did set off a racial panic of sorts. It was the notorious case of Tawana Brawley, the young black woman who claimed...
So Tawana Brawley, we've got a crossover with Mort. He really, really went heavy in on her story, like covered it a bunch of times, did a bunch of personal stuff about it. And so keep that in mind as you're hearing about her story, is that like Mort really went all in with it to like support her.
Claim that she had been raped by a band of white men in upstate New York, including some police officers. Now, that case really in many ways tore apart this state, and it sucked in unknowing people like Governor Cuomo of New York, comedian Bill Cosby, the boxer Mike Tyson, all of whom wanted to get involved to help out poor Tawana Brawley.
Oh, this is something. So Bill Cosby, a Cuomo, and Mike Tyson got together to stand up to defend people accused of rape in 1991. That's kind of an interesting thing.
In a case that was later revealed to be a hoax. Our next guest, Cheryl Ann, tells us that she was the victim of a hoax of a different beat.
Victim of a hairdresser.
Newspaper that her ex-lover, Peter Criss, now he was the former drummer
Peter Criss,
Kiss, had become
She's a rat.
homeless alcoholic. Now, deeply moved by the plight of her former boyfriend, Cheryl Ann flew Peter across the country to help him get back on his feet. But the guy who stepped off the plane was this imposter, Christopher Dickinson. Now, you see, Christopher is a real-life homeless alcoholic person who says that posing as the former Kiss drummer...
Real-life homeless alcoholic person posing as Peter Criss to get laid?
Was the way to get attention and a few hot meals because he was desperate. We'll hear how Cheryl Ann reacted when she heard that Chris...
Hold on a second. So this homeless alcoholic pretended to be Peter Criss, banged this lady, got a bunch of money from her? What?
Wasn't Peter. Frank Shorter is a name that's familiar to every runner in this country. He's the guy who started the jogging craze. He's also the victim of a colossal hoax back in the 1972 Munich Olympics. Just one lap away from becoming the first American since 1908 to...
South to west, here's the guy who started. This is the founder of the jogging craze.
To win the marathon, Frank watched as an imposter, a guy who hadn't run at all, crossed the line ahead of him and claimed victory. So Frank will tell us how he reacted when he heard the fans cheering wildly for a guy with a pot belly who was sprinting out ahead of him. Now, everybody remembers George McFarlane. There he is in our satellite screen, better known to millions of Little Rascal fans as Spanky. There he is.
Spanky.
Spanky, who joins us via satellite from Irving.
Man, can you imagine what it would feel like if You were that woman, and and you found out that it was just a homeless alcoholic. Yeah, but at least Peter Criss was famous. Jim Fixx was the creator. So, in other words, this Geraldo hoax episode has two hoaxes, two meta hoaxes.
Texas says that he and Buckwheat and virtually all of the original cast of the Little Rascals have been impersonated at one time or another. You may have heard of the Buckwheat imposter who recently fooled ABC's News Magazine 2020. Well,
Buckwheat impersonator?
That does not sit
what?
well with Spanky or the other surviving members of the
Imagine
Little Rascals,
catfishing
well
IRL
imagine.
like
We'll talk
that.
to
That's
Spanky
crazy.
about that. And of course, you can't have a hoax without a hoaxer. Alan Abel is a professional hoaxer who devotes his time, energy, and money to fooling America. His credits include putting a woman up to claim she was the winner of the $35 million lottery, and it was a phony. He also fooled Craig Wolf's newspaper by placing his own obituary in the New York Times. And Alan, wasn't the young lady from
So
the
he's
Women Against
an old
Restroom
school
Discrimination?
troll.
She was your plant also.
One of our group.
One of your group, okay. I have very ambivalent feelings about Mr. Abel. I have to warn you, he is also a guy who fooled some of my colleagues in the talk show business by having some of his plants faint in the audience. So if anyone faints in this audience, please don't be concerned until we feel their pulse. I hope no one actually does it now. They'll be lying there and will be appearing insensitive. Today's program is the world's most famous hoaxes. That's the focus of this edition of Geraldo.
I love that, though. Don't you think that's cool? Like, back in the day, to troll, they were like, hey, listen, just go in and then pretend like you faint.
We've put together a video piece of
It's
some
so
of
corny,
the
but it's so
world's
funny.
greatest hoaxes, including, and you may recall this, the Howard Hughes biography written by Clifford Irving, and then Howard Hughes, the reclusive billionaire, surfaced and said, no, the whole thing was a put-up job. Those and others are featured in this background video piece. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an
I think
invading
my
army from the planet
pineapple
Mars.
drink is kicking in, guys.
Halloween 1938, when a radio broadcast of H.G. Wells' classic science fiction thriller, The War of the Worlds, touched off a tidal wave of reaction. It began as a holiday prank, but turned into mass panic as Orson Welles reported the landing of Martians on Earth.
So if you're watching this video because you watched the other video and it's telling you to come here if you want to see how it's working, know that it took about 30 minutes to kick in. 30, 40 minutes.
I was surprised that the H.G. Wells classic, which is the original for many fantasies about invasions by mythical monsters from the planet Mars, should have had such an immediate and profound effect upon radio listeners.
As easy as it was in 1938 for the media to fool the people, today it's the media which is sometimes deceived. Fooling reporters has become an art form for media satirist Joey Skaggs.
Well, there is an organization now, a new one here in New York, that says it can help. It is called the Fat Squad. 6 Fat Squad commandos are here now, this morning, live, to maintain tight security around our Good Morning America refrigerator. The Fat Squad is a hoax. We were had, as were many other respected newspapers and broadcasters.
She looked at me, and we both started smiling. I thought, oh my God, it's over. The curtain has to come down.
Studio guest Alan Abel revels in the vulnerability of people, and like Skaggs, exploits the media to express his message. His recent claim to notoriety was the creation of a fake lotto winner. This actress would tell the cameras how lucky she was to win $35 million.
I had a dream. I dreamed that Malcolm Forbes and Donald Trump were surrounding me in a magic carpet.
Joe Shabatoni, if you're watching this, buddy, there's the Trump reference.
And they told me the numbers.
Remember when Howard Hughes...
So Donald Trump traveled back through time to tell that lady winning lottery numbers. Interesting.
The reclusive billionaire businessman supposedly allowed author Clifford Irving to write his biography. Well, the publishing world got red in the face when that biography turned out to be a phony. Girl, you know it's true.
Milli
The
Vanilli.
music world proved its own vulnerability to hoaxes when Grammy Award-winning group Milli Vanilli was exposed as two lip-syncing imposters. When Our Gang's Buckwheat was discovered living in Texas,
No,
2020 told the
not
sad
Buckwheat.
story of this one-time famous child actor. What 2020 apparently overlooked was the fact the real Buckwheat had died 10 years earlier.
Oh no.
After upstate New York teenager Tawana Brawley claimed she was raped by a group of white men, her case quickly became a cause celeb for activists like the outspoken Reverend Al Sharpton. The case led to a long
Look at Al
and
Sharpton
expensive
back in the day.
investigation and fueled racial tensions throughout the city. But no proof was ever found to substantiate her case, and the conclusion was the rape was a hoax. Hoaxsters can certainly...
Hold on. What, Junk? My clips are starting riffs or whatting them at least? I can't see. Extending them? What do you mean? I remember it, south to west. I remember taping the I don't know if you probably did this if you're of that age, but like recording shit off the radio onto your cassette tape. I remember Milli Vanilli and then like the big scandal. What clips, what riffs am I starting?
embarrass or even substantially harm their audience. But every now and then these pranks can turn a dull day into an event. And that's exactly what happened when Gorbachev...
Oh, you mean the King Paro Memphis wrestling interview?
...showed up on Donald Trump's doorstep.
Another Trump reference.
Great honor.
He's just come down very briefly. We were on our way. He wanted a couple of minutes.
I like your tie.
Well, listen, Paro reached out to me, and he's sending me clips of himself that he's promoting Lowell Cow Rejects. So he sent me that voice clip, and I thought it was great. So then I put in the intro and outro. So like Paro really had. I had to do very little. He sent me like pretty much a ready to go, promo to post.
Right color.
Great honor. Thank you for showing
I hope we didn't disturb your schedule.
No, it was beautiful, and I heard, and I couldn't have been happier. Very good. I couldn't have been happier.
So even Donald Trump gets busted. Laura Lammers, is that?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So Paro sent me that promo not as a promo, just as a Discord message, right? A private Discord message. And I was like, wow, that's actually like a good promo. So I did ask him because I'm not going to post somebody's Discord, like private Discord stuff without their permission. That's why I asked him. Yeah. Just to make sure I didn't want him to be like, why are you posting my private Discord messages?
Your last name, Laura? Now sits in our front row. Was it your idea? Women against restroom. What was the other R for?
Women against restricted restrooms.
Restricted restrooms. That's it. Well, good luck
Women
with
against
your cause.
restricted restrooms.
Actually, our security guys. Where's Bobby? Bobby, come on out here, sir. Come on. He's a crack detectives, formerly with the New York City PD, now the head of the security unit here.
Crack
now,
detective.
What did you think when you saw her?
Gonna throw her out.
I mean, you really were fooled.
We had no idea.
Yeah, that was just a regular
No, I don't
Discord
know.
message he
He's a
sent.
great guy. I was convinced. But Alan, I tell you,
What a promo, though.
I mentioned my ambivalence about what it is that you do, and although I can laugh, obviously the Gorbachev thing in front of Donald Trump's hotel is something to watch the high and mighty fall on their noses. But don't you think that you're impeaching the credibility of the media and making all of our jobs more difficult by what you do?
Absolutely. Keeps you on your toes. I think it's necessary in between the axe murders and the serial killers. There should be some levity in the news. And we provide that. Our merry pranksters will go out on a slow news day, and we do it for fun. We do it in order to give people a kick in the intellect, make them laugh, make them think. There's no greed. There's no fraud involved. We're self-financed. We have private backers.
What backers? Who's going to back you
Well,
to go and pull up?
all right, one of our backers, unfortunately passed away a few years ago, was the founder of the Book of the Month Club. Maxwell Sackheim.
Oh, there's nothing you say I'm going to believe.
You better believe it. All right, how about, let me just flash
try
a couple
another
things.
one on me.
This is prior to launching the Moscow, remember the landing Martian? We did that in Moscow last year, a year ago. This is the actual spaceship that went up. It was just a weather balloon. And it was covered by TASS. I'll just show you a couple. Here's Idi Amin marrying a Connecticut wasp in order to gain asylum.
I didn't even get my invitation to that one. I've
Well,
loved
that was
it.
in all the news. You've already shown the headline with Lee Churilla, who won. These are just headlines. I did not fake these headlines. This is a full headline.
This
in the
is
San
really,
Francisco
I
Chronicle
think this
about
is really
clothing all
cool
naked animals for
stuff
the
to
sake of
do. I like
decency.
this kind of stuff.
Now, wait a second.
Media
is that a real
manipulation,
headline?
That's a real
harmless
headline,
trolling.
Along with the Donahue fainting audience, where all of our audience fainted on Phil Donahue's show. There was well, why not? He was talking about gay senior citizens. He had just...
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Look at that sweater, my God.
He had just arrived.
All right.
He had
Enough,
just
enough.
arrived in
Cool
New York.
down, cool down.
Now,
hold it a second.
Okay.
Spanky, you don't think these things are very funny, do you?
I don't think them funny at all, Geraldo.
Now, you guys have not only been embarrassed, you've also been hurt financially, haven't you? By people saying they're you and getting paid for various engagements?
Well, there have been those instances. I had one instance happen to me in California several years ago, where there was a very imaginative gentleman who, over a period of years, purported to be me, and went into a lot of motion picture and television production things.
Isn't that, I mean, that's really weird, obviously, but isn't it kind of neat that even before the internet, like, there were like liquid versions of people. Like, there was a liquid Spanky and a liquid Buckwheat. Dude, I watched that too, Junk. That was an amazing docuseries. I knew like a little bit about it, but damn, that was crazy.
Leasing and renting equipment from various people.
I mean, that one event pretty much like changed at least American manufacturing of most products like massively, because everything had to be tamper-proof. Like, nothing was tamper-proof to that point.
To do various productions that never
The
happened.
trust people had,
and
like,
all this time I
wow.
was getting the bill. So yeah, financially there have been some.
Oh,
people,
you're from there?
hurt,
Nice.
Although not particularly me.
How about in emotional terms? How did you
Dodo
react
bird.
when 2020 ran the profile?
Hey, Rush Limbaugh, did you see that? Do you remember Dr. Backslash? He was in here the other day for Boyd Watch. I saw he'd started popping up in my comments again, but I think that's the first time I've seen him in a stream. He might be the only other person from the Twitch days.
Very sympathetic profile of your former colleague Buckwheat.
Well, I really wasn't surprised. Well, maybe that's wrong. I was surprised. I wasn't shocked, because this has been going on a long time, Geraldo. Not only with me,
Besides
but with,
moderation,
Buckwheat,
of course.
with Porky, and a lot of the other kids that I worked with in the Little Rascal Hour gang. It makes me very mad. It makes me very, very angry to think that somebody would do something like that. Apparently, a lot of these people have no higher calling in life than to try to be somebody they're not.
Well said there, Spanky. And doesn't he still look the same? He's still like, I just miss your beanie. Where's your beanie, Spank?
Well, I fought a losing battle with the mob. Oh, the high sign?
Here's that high sign. Yeah, there it is. Spank, I want to know, are you still a member of the He-Man Woman Haters Club?
Secretly, Geraldo. My wife doesn't know about this affiliation I have.
Howard Koch, the immensely talented genius who scripted perhaps radio's, most controversial moment, but also one of its great moments, at least in terms of the believability of the drama. But did you make it, Howard, too believable?
Mine was an unconscious hoax. All I was trying to do was to take a far-out idea and make it as dramatic as possible. But I had no idea of what was going to happen as a result of it.
Did you not know, though, in the hours
That
leading up to the
Neanderthal.
broadcast, and indeed during the time the broadcast was on the air, that people were reacting so dramatically?
As soon as it went,
He sent me I can't remember what all was in it, but he sent me a care package one time. Sent it to my house, and it was like it was an autographed T-shirt, and then I think it had some other stuff, but I can't remember what else was in there.
on the air, I was exhausted and I was
Hey,
asleep.
Jay Dummy.
They tried to wake me up, Orson Hausman, and I was out of this world. So
Out of this world. Oh, wait, why not?
the next morning, I was walking up 72nd Street from Riverside Drive, and I heard all the sounds around me, people, bystanders saying, invasion, war. And I rushed into the barber shop. I said, are we at war or something? And he held up a newspaper, Martian invasion broadcast, Paddock's Nation. Well, that was a very strange moment in my life.
What was your reaction? Chagrin, embarrassment, pride in an unusual way?
Well,
I didn't see it yet. I read an article about it, and then I saw that wasn't there like a real life screening of it where the ceiling fell in on the people?
first, because we didn't know what was going to happen to us, because the police came
Can you imagine if somebody got up and left like right before that? That would be, I mean, you'd pretty much be mind blown for life, I think.
in and took all the scripts except mine that I had in my apartment. And it was a question whether they were going to be villains or heroes, very close. And then Dorothy Thompson came out with an article saying we had done the country a favor by alerting them to what could happen. And that turned the tide. And
yeah, you want to be, do you want to be in the thumbnail for Saturday, Vinny?
And then we went into more money, and Campbell became the new sponsor. And finally, as a result, we all went out to Hollywood. Orson and
John
Houseman and
Houseman, Orson Welles, and yourself.
Yes.
And so it had a positive effect on your career then.
It surely did, yeah, and still is.
Howard Koch, you should know, also co-wrote probably the greatest movie of all times, Casablanca.
What? He wrote Casa, the same guy? Wow.
Howard, can you remember some of the incidents, some of the things that happened? I mean, groups of farmers getting together, pulling out their shotguns and their pitchforks, looking skyward for the...
Vinny, did you watch the Netflix docuseries about the Tylenol murders?
Incoming enemy?
Yes, we went down to Grover's Mill for the 50th anniversary. Grover's Mill was just the Four Corners, and now it's a very famous town.
I think my edible's
That, of
really
course, was
starting
ground
to hit.
zero in the invasion.
Yeah, and
I feel like my
how it
eyeballs are
happened to be,
slowly filling
Grover's
with
Mill
like
was
gel.
pure accident. I was riding down on the west side of the Hudson River.
Did you
through
really
New
watch the
Jersey,
Tylenol docuseries?
and
It was
I
great.
realized I had to have a map if I was going to plan this campaign, Martians against us.
What did your
And,
dad think about it?
It was a New Jersey map. And when I spread it out to begin my campaign, I just closed my eyes, put pencil down, Grover's Mill. I thought that sounded very real, very good. Well, now people are coming, they tell me, from all over the world to buy dirt where the Martians didn't land.
That was amazing.
Oh, good deal.
I could talk with you forever.
Hey,
about
Laughing
that. It's
Cedar.
such a fascinating story. I want to jump, though.
Vinny Slugga, I notice you're talking more to your dad in the car when you're driving places. Do you think he would talk about, like, he could talk about what movies you guys have seen lately? We need to hear your dad's thoughts on whatever TV shows or movies. I think people would really like that.
For a second to Frank Shorter, the man who pulled off the impossible against all the odds and all this great international competition. At
You're
the
kind of
1972
close to
Olympics
Chicago.
in Munich, Germany. There he is, about to pull off the racing coup of the century, or certainly since 1908, and someone in front of you. You hear the crowds cheering ahead of you. What do you think happened?
I know your dad knows that you're recording now, because you kind of direct at the beginning of it with the Alexa record. Does he know? What does he think about? Does he know that he has fans online?
I was going into the tunnel and I heard a big cheer.
Because the last lap is running the stadium.
The last lap is around the stadium, and you come from outside the stadium at the end of the marathon, 26 plus miles. And I heard this cheer, and I said, well, maybe the high jump's going on and someone's cleared a height. And I came through this tunnel, and traditionally, one of the loudest roars in all the Olympics is when the marathon winner comes out onto the track. The whole stadium erupts. So I came out onto the track, and it was dead silence. And I started around the track, and someone in the stands who was an American yelled out, "Don't worry, Frank." And I thought to myself, why should I worry? I'm an American. And then as I got further and further around, people began to whistle. And whistling in
He does know that he has
Europe
fans. What does he think about it?
It's like booing. And I thought, gee, give me a break. I mean, you know, I run all this way. and finally, as I started around down the backstretch, you go one lap around the track, I saw a big commotion around the finish line. I saw them grab somebody. And then it kind of dawned on me what had gone on. Someone had come and
Shades of Rosie Ruiz, remember her? What year was Rosie? She was in the Boston Marathon.
No, Rosie, a couple of times, New York and Boston.
Oh, she did it twice?
Yeah.
Although
I need
radio
to see
obviously
that.
demands.
I need to see that. I can't find. I haven't been able to find any of them lately, man. I think I saw the. Gosh, I can't find Daphne. I can't find Eddie Gilbert. I can't remember the last one, but I've had immense problems finding them lately.
Imagination. You have to create the images. I think many of us are a little skeptical, or at least don't quite understand how that broadcast could seem so real to so many people. We thought that in Howard's honor, in Mr. Koch's honor, we could play you just a minute of that the original Mercury Players broadcast of H.G. Wells' classic War of the Worlds, starring Orson Welles. Let's listen to the reaction of the people when the Martians were landing.
Vinny, has your dad ever smoked marijuana?
Gentlemen, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed. Wait a minute. Someone's crawling someone or something. I can see turning out of that black hole two luminous discs. The eyes, it might be a face, might be almost. Good heavens, something wriggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one, and another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. Oh, yeah, I can see the thing's body now. It's large as a bear. It glistens like wet leather, but that face, ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. So awful. The eyes are black, and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is a kind of V-shape with saliva dripping from its lips.
Okay, get out the gun, Mabel. They're here. That's enough.
Okay. It, can hardly move.
It was amazingly realistic. Incredible. Craig Wolf, did you ever believe that Tawana Brawley had been abducted and raped by a gang of
No, he doesn't smoke. What does he drink?
When I was first assigned to the story, I went up to Wappingers Falls, about
seems
an hour
like he
north
parties.
of New York City, and I was looking for the person or persons who did it. In fact, the paper went after this case and committed the resources it did to the investigation because we thought it had happened. It was only after, well, a relatively short time, really a few days, when the facts were not really holding together and the trails were turning cold.
Okay, give us some of the red flags that really tweaked your reporter's curiosity.
Well, the story as it came out from
doesn't drink either? That's a good man,
Brawley
Vinny. Your dad's a good family
lawyers,
man.
Was that she was found in a plastic garbage bag outside the apartment where her family used to live, and that she had racial slurs scrawled on her and seemed to be the victim of a horrible rape and attack. The first and most important thing to know is that she was not found in the plastic bag. She was seen crawling into the bag. The fibers, the material that was used to write these racial epitaphs on her torso, these were burnt cotton fibers, were actually found in Tawana Brawley's fingertips and indeed in the fingers of her gloves. And I could go on and on like this. It's also important to know that just as she's being discovered, just as police and ambulance and neighbors are converging around her, just at that point, Tawana Brawley's mother, just a few yards away, but on the other side of this small apartment complex, is driving away and goes to the local police station where for the first time over Thanksgiving weekend reports her daughter missing. Now, we wrote a book about this, and clearly, while the mystery is enthralling and engaging and so forth, our purpose was not merely to write a book about a young girl's lie. The purpose of the book was to highlight how this case was a kind of litmus test or a barometer somehow for the racial tensions in this country. It is important to point out that for a whole lot of people in this country, the Tawana Brawley case is not a hoax. There are a lot of people who believed it happened because it was plausible. It happened against a backdrop that made it seem plausible after all, considering the racial problems we have in this country. We wrote a book that tried to address
this guy
both her
actually
lie and
has some pretty good media training. He's like hit specifically like, we wrote a book.
The larger problems.
The fact that to so many people it could have happened, however horrid and however racist. It
looks like Simon Rex down here.
It could have happened.
Geraldo, it's the most heinous kind of hoax. We're talking about all kinds of hoaxes because it taps in to our worst social fears, and that's what made it so plausible after all. It is also, one other point I'd like to make is that if there's any link between all these disparate kind of hoaxes, it is that the media always has to be on watch for to not be lulled into the usual mechanism of checking out facts. You know, the phone rings in the office, you have a source, you get cracking on it, maybe you confirm it, you feel comfortable knowing you've done your job.
Okay.
But maybe
so at some point people were in favor of fact checks. Of course, now people hate, like, it's a super divisive issue. But this is a time when people were saying like that the media wasn't fact checking, you know, to the point to where you could get on TV or in a newspaper with like a completely made up story, but really high profile.
There are times I know as a reporter,
you've got to take a second look.
Right. You know,
your proud papa's here in the audience someplace, isn't he?
Yeah, my mom and dad.
Oh, mom and dad, stand up. Come on, stand up.
Well,
yes, he is. Mr. and Mrs. Wolf. And we're very pleased to have Ann Koch here. Where is Ann, Howard's lovely wife? Why don't you stand? Come on. She is a writer in her own right. She wrote the Robin Hood series for British films. She's been Howard's maid Marion for how many years now, Howard?
30.
50, but who's counting?
50, 30. I came at 6, I came at 8. You were on time, I was late, I remember it well.
It only seems like 30.
That's right, okay. The world's greatest hoaxes. Our focus will be right back. Stay with us. You ever feel bad about it, Howard?
About the Martians? Well, no, I don't think I did, for the reason that I hoped it would teach a lesson that we can be manipulated. We can be manipulated not only with if we can in a war as absurd as that one from another planet, how we could be manipulated with wars right here on our Earth. And that was, to me, some lesson to come out of it, which I hope was absorbed by people.
I understand the illusion.
Wow, that was a really...
tell me...
wow, that you got it.
Tell me how you reacted when you read in Star Magazine
really tall hair.
The man you say was your ex-lover, Peter Criss, the drummer, the former drummer from the rock band Kiss, was a homeless derelict in the West Coast.
Oh, I was so upset.
Did you film it, ATF Media?
I think it was the worst day of my life. My mom was with me the whole day, and I tried for hours and hours to locate him. And finally I did.
Hey, ATF Media, this lady hooked up with this guy because she thought he was Peter Criss, but he was a different alcoholic that was homeless.
Oh, at the end of the day.
How'd you find him?
I had made several attempts of calling all the shelters and the missions and all kinds of places that the Star had written he was going. And finally, I decided the best place to go would be to call the writer of the Star story. And finally, I got him. And at that point, he told me that Peter was on the other line. And he came back to the phone and said, Peter wants you to call him right now in Ontario.
Ontario, east
California.
of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you sent him a ticket.
First class.
First class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You paid for it?
Yeah.
And your motive?
To get him back on his feet. I couldn't
This is the guy. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. First class ticket. Damn.
even believe that someone who'd been in my life years ago could be so hard up and desperate. And I wanted to get him back with somebody who cared about him and get him an attorney and get his money back.
Your reaction then when, instead of Peter coming down the jetway, you see Christopher Dickinson.
Yeah. Well, I had requested something called privacy assistance from the airline, thinking that it was indeed Peter. And I had security there. And at the phone booth, I noticed a guy that looked like Peter from the back. He turned around, and it was Chris. It was not Peter.
And your reaction?
Well, I first wanted to beat the hell out of him, but then I decided he had to be pretty desperate to fly cross-country, knowing I'd certainly recognize him the minute I saw him.
Chris, you knew that she would recognize you the minute she saw you. Why did you think you could pull off this preposterous hoax?
Basically, I was pretty loaded. I was pretty out of it.
I understand you got pretty loaded in first class also.
Yeah.
I was loaded.
Got
Kicked off the connecting flight.
Kicked off.
You were kicked off the flight. You were so drunk.
Yeah, in Chicago.
I was
Don't you feel embarrassed?
Yeah.
I mean, there we have a split screen of the hoaxer on the left, the real guy on the right. And we know that Peter Criss has really responded to what you did in a very emotional way. He blames you for him being barraged by people saying, what the hell happened? How'd you fall into the gutter? I mean, don't you have any sense of conscience about that?
Yeah, I do. I do feel bad at this point. I really do. Well, for a long time, I really have.
I mean, can you play the drums?
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Okay.
Panhandles for nickels.
And Cheryl Ann, you know, when Peter Criss was told the story, your story, he says that you and he never had a relationship.
Yeah, what
that
happened?
you were, just fishing to wheel in a groupie or a rock star.
No, what happened?
So, okay, so the guy hoaxed her, but she was hoaxing as well, pretending that she was an old friend.
Was the last time I saw Peter, there was a club that was owned by a former management company of his, and everyone in the industry used to congregate there. And as I have just recently found out, we dated 8 years ago, and he's been married 11. So he denies in print that he knows me, but he takes my phone calls real quick. And my mother has called his house
Well, look
also.
at the
For the
hair,
record, Peter
geez.
is not here to give his side of the story. I
Very
think the
tasteful
heart
and
of What
restrained.
is being said here, though, is indeed the Christopher Dickinson
No.
hoax. So what has happened to you?
Honestly, no, I didn't. I never got into, I was never much of a Kiss fan, to be honest. He should be happy anyone wants to imitate him.
You since, Chris? I tell you, I've got to take a commercial break and then we'll finish that line of thought.
She was a groupie fishing for a rock
My
star.
good friend and colleague Phil Donahue's name as being the victim of his fainting hoax. I want you to know that Phil is not the only one. Oprah has been victimized by hoaxers. Sally Raphael has been victimized. And even here, believe it or not, we have...
Kiss to me always felt like, we've talked about this during Memphis Wrestling, the idea that you can really look the part, but you're just not you just don't have the wrestler thing. You just kind of you look the all the like smoke and mirrors are there. I just always felt like Kiss was always like it's always seemed real, to quote Cornette, it's really phony. You know, like AC/DC may not have been exactly like they presented to the media, but they felt more authentic. Like Kiss always felt like people trying to like just grifters basically.
Have been embarrassed. We've done, I think, 800 programs on 3 different occasions that we can think of, as you'll see right now. Take a look. The first incident came after a very serious program looking for homes for homeless couples. One of the couples,
ATF Media, you're a big fan of Kiss.
Running from a robbery charge. And shortly after our program, they surrendered to authorities. While investigating the unusual...
Hey, ATF Media, I think you were talking one time, wasn't it you that watched one of Opie and Anthony? Is the guy that's Anthony in Opie and Anthony the guy who has all these, like, videos of him talking about, like, racial issues?
Subject of male
Is that the same guy?
2 guests planted on our panel turned out not to be what they claimed. Whatever these characters are, he was not a virgin, and she was not his sexual surrogate.
The question I have for you is, why did you lie to us? Why did you present a phony tape recording to us?
Our final embarrassment came during the taping of a show called Blood Money, when I came to believe one of our guests brought a fake recording of a phone call supposedly made by his wife to his life insurance company. He claimed she was trying to increase his policy before she attempted to kill him.
South to
Apparently,
west
she
suspenders.
did later shoot him, but she never called the insurance company.
That is this.
During
Okay,
the
that's
show,
the same
we
guy.
contacted them to find out our guest tape was a scam.
A few people were talking about that they were trolling somebody in chat, and I watched I tried to find that video to see the trolling, but I ended up just getting a bunch of videos of this guy, the guy talking about all the racial issues in my feed now.
How can you sit there and lie bold-faced to me right now when I'm telling you that we have caught you, that the tape recording is a phony?
I was angry. Don't make Geraldo angry. So what do you think of Howard Koch's classic broadcast? Did you hear it?
I loved it. As one hoaxer to another, I would like to ask
Here's
you
the
2 questions,
thumbnail.
sir. First of all, what prompted
Look
you
at the
to
guy
put
next
this
to
show
her.
on the
My
air?
lord. Poor guy,
It
man.
wasn't my idea. It was Orson Welles' idea. And he wanted it done not as the short story had been written, but he wanted it done in the form in which you
Compound Media
saw it, which was news bulletin
In other words,
form.
reality-wise.
Yeah, it was his idea to do it that way.
Why is that?
Why do you feel about that?
Well,
what do I feel about that?
Why? Because we want to do an exciting show, and that would be more exciting than doing it in third person and just something happening in the distance.
You didn't like that?
They were pretty.
Well, weren't you afraid
they
of the
were pretty
repercussions
wild
it could
videos.
cause?
What happened in your family?
I never thought about
My
it.
family was hysterical.
What do you mean, frightened?
Definitely frightened. They were
Very
scared crazy.
natural
My
makeup and
sisters ran under the
eyebrows.
bed.
What did you do?
I was kind of young, but I ran with them.
Did you look out the window for the Martian?
No way. I wasn't going to go to that window. Nothing doing.
So you kind of mad at Howard and Orson and the Mercury Players?
Not actually angry. It was a good show. In fact, if it comes back again, I intend to listen to it.
Hey, be right back. Stay with us.
I'm sorry.
It was Eddie Murphy's portrayal of Spanky on Saturday Night Live. Remember that, Eddie Murphy? Oh, Tay Panky, you know. I wonder, Spanky, how you felt about Eddie Murphy's portrayal of Buckwheat.
Well, you know, without getting into sour grapes, Geraldo, I didn't like it, number one. I'll be very honest with you. I thought it was a bad portrayal. The man obviously didn't do his homework because Buckwheat never said Otay. Porky was the kid that said Otay.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow,
so he
Karen.
built, talk about a hoax. He built his whole thing on Otay about
I have that one, Dancing on the Sun. We watched if you got, it's in my trash TV playlist if you ever want to go back and watch it with chat or whatever, but we watched that episode of Geraldo, and then we watched him the same episode has Geraldo opening the vault.
with saying that buckwheat never used. But I didn't like it from the standpoint that he finally
Any upcoming projects?
His buckwheat thing.
I'm doing the podcast or whatever with Beth. That's still a couple months off though.
Finally got into like really a making fun of type thing.
I see.
And
you thought it was disrespectful.
Character in a bad light, and I didn't think that that needed to be done with somebody that can't fight back.
Right. Okay.
The gentleman on the right, I want to know what got you started doing hoaxes?
Alan?
Well, it's my way to retaliate against the injustices of our times. We're all reduced.
I'm sure that was exactly your motivation.
We're all reduced to Social Security numbers. You have no rights anymore, and you want to get just a little space in life, like crossing the street. I use this to get traffic to stop. And if a cab tries to run me over, I just flip the sign.
Wow, what a sign.
And it's practical. Practical.
I want to quickly go to Laura and to, is it Phil in the front row?
Excuse me?
Laura and Phil, two of your
Laura
operatives.
Lammers is one of our Mary Pranksters.
Laura, tell us some of the other.
So I took a shot of THC pineapple juice about half an hour before the stream started. And for the people who, if you're coming over from that review, I just, as an update, it's not super strong at 18, obviously, but like you can definitely feel it. It has like a nice pinball type effect.
The other hoaxes you've pulled off.
Well, just, what was it, a few months ago, 4 days before the Taj Mahal opening, we went up to Boston, rented a...
The Taj Mahal is Donald Trump's casino in Atlantic
Right,
City.
we went and rented a conference
Okay, how many more Trump references?
room at the Ritz-Carlton and called a press conference in which I impersonated Marla
Eddie
Maples.
Vedder.
We had members from
Did you fool
all
them?
over the country. Yes, I fooled several of them, made national press. It was in the New York Times, the Herald, the Globe,
The Times
Channel
gets
4.
burned again.
Yeah.
Paul, what are some of your greats?
Well, last year at this time, I was one of the infamous lotto hoaxers.
How much did you win?
This looks like Jimmy, I think, from season 2 of Fish Tank.
Pardon me?
How much did you win?
Which, by the way, in case you guys missed it, I shared it on my community page. But season 4 of Fish Tank is coming. It seems like it's going to be like maybe a lean version of the show. Only $8,000 prize, and so far I think there's only like 8 contestants. But some of them seem pretty interesting.
I didn't win nothing. I just got drunk as a
I'm
skunk.
like coming out of my skin.
And
I
we
can't
staged
wait.
a party over at the Omni Park Central. And as far as hoaxes go, it was really pretty easy. I was also one of the Phil Donahue fainters. I was number 2 to faint. For that, we formed an organization called Fight Against Idiotic Neurotic Television, or FAINT. And basically, we went unconscious.
Who pays you, Paul?
Oh, we don't get paid for anything, really. I mean, we just...
Are you employed otherwise?
Oh, sure.
What do you do for a living?
I have a part-time job in marketing.
This is when trolling was like artistic.
Books. And I'm also an actor.
You mean you stand on the corner and you sell books, or how are you working?
No, I do it, the exciting world of telemarketing, if you will.
Telemarketing, I see. What do you got there, Alan?
Well, I want to show this is a public people pooper. When Paul and I went into the Helmsley Palace Hotel, they wouldn't let us use the restroom because we weren't registered guests, so we built our own toilet on wheels. And we took it in front of the hotel for people who were not registered guests.
Greg? Without meaning to sound self-righteous, I think that the media, reporters are in search of the truth when they're at their best. That makes them vulnerable to fraud. I think in the Brawley case, that may have been the problem at the beginning, but I'd like to say that the New York Times and our book set out always to put it in context, and I think, in fact, we were the ones who actually sort of brought some light to a very provocative case.
Christopher, whatever happened to you? What are you doing now?
Whatever happened to you?
Nothing.
Man, what a moment that was. Hey Chris, whatever happened to you? Nothing.
Are you still presenting yourself as Peter Chris?
No.
Frank, whatever happened to the German kid who posed as the winner?
Well, I think this speaks very well to the press. What happened was no one reported his name. You'd have a heck of a time finding out who this person was. The media, as soon as they realized they'd been taken, buried him. Usually they rush to report the name, but here, no one knows what happened to him. I think he went back to school.
Thanks, everybody. Spanky, thank you so much. See you.
Great episode. Great episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is Lisa, 1995.
Thanks, everybody. Welcome to the show. Our topic today on Lisa, my husband wears my clothes. He's sensitive. He's open. He cares about my needs. The reason he does is because he's a cross-dresser.
I have nothing against these people or anything else, but I would be stunned. It would just totally blow me away, and I would have a real hard time dealing with it.
I have a 7-year-old daughter and an 18-month-old boy.
Do they know that Dad wears women's clothes?
They definitely do not know.
I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to die.
It shouldn't
Wow,
be
what
this
an episode.
painful for them, and we, as a society, have made it impossible. What is the problem here?
How would you react if your husband or your boyfriend came home and announced to you that he was cross-dressing? Maybe he was wearing your heels or your dress. How would you feel about it? Yeah?
I would be shocked. I would be shocked. I wouldn't know what to do. I would think that
They're
it's
all
a serious
twins.
problem. I'd have a
What?
problem with it, and I would think that we would need some serious therapy.
Okay. Any other points of view here? Yeah, all the way down here. Excuse me.
I think I'd want to know, why didn't you tell me this before? You know, if there's something you didn't tell me, or, you know.
It is a secret that a lot of people keep in. I mean, you're going to meet
That
people
lady in
who
the back, do you think
confess
she'll
to
make
their
it back to
wives
her?
that they've
I
been
doubt it.
cross-dressing for years, enjoy wearing women's undergarments underneath their suits. There are a lot of people, businessmen that I bet you work with, who are doing this right now, and it's just a little well-kept secret. I want you to meet Colleen and Marie. Both of these ladies are married. Welcome. But it wasn't until after their marriages, like you said, after their marriages, that they learned that their husbands were cross-dressers. So, ladies, why don't you go ahead then and introduce us to your husbands?
My name's Colleen. My husband and I have been married for 6 years.
I
He's the
still
love
can't
of my
believe how
life.
bitter
We're
Spanky
closer than
was.
ever. And here's my husband, Heather.
Welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, Marie, who's your husband?
Well, I'd like to introduce my husband of 17 years, Shirley.
Been married 17 years. Shirley, come on out.
In the 90s. What was that look?
About 8 feet tall. This for those of you who are measuring
my
at home. How tall
gosh.
are you? 6'4". Have a seat and welcome to the show. Thank you all.
Wow.
I think if I'm gauging by this audience, the first reaction is how you're obviously
I thought at first, I forgot he was up on the stage and Lisa was down on the ground. I thought he was like 9 feet tall.
in love with these men, and you're quite proud of them. How do you feel sitting next to them with their pumps and their nylons and the dresses?
I think my husband looks terrific.
Marie? I feel great. He has come a long way home. Yes, yes.
What?
Yes.
What's her energy?
Does this make you nervous at all?
Oh, being on national television? Yes.
Yeah. Let's get to, well, don't be, because, you know, the show's about you today. We want to hear your story, so we're just going to, we're all here just to learn. What was the reaction, Colleen, when you first found out, and how did Heather tell you?
Well, actually, I had an inkling 2 months before.
You know what would be interesting, Laughing Cedar, is with all the internet access and stuff like that, I wonder if there's got to be something somewhere, someone, like, obviously people are having the discussion about these people being actors in one way or another. Besides the Jerry Springer people, which we hear about all the time, like, are there very many stories of people who went on these kind of shows? You know what I mean? Like the ones that are presented as more, like, serious, I guess.
He actually told me. He came up with a, quote, costume idea for Halloween. He would go as a woman, I would go as a man. And we went, you know, the whole thing. I had a real hair and mustache and everything, though I couldn't pass in a coal mine. And we got him a full-length gown, and we were going to a costume party. And we were sitting in the car, and he said, well, wait a minute, let me check my lipstick. And he was looking in the mirror, and I saw this look of utter fulfillment on his
Could
face.
be a great
I'm not kidding.
documentary
I was like, whoa.
if they are out there, people that were willing to
Does he
talk.
want to do this? I mean, what?
I'd watch that shit.
I knew it was more than a costume to him.
Did you confront him on it?
Well, I knew that we never had any secrets, and if this was going to be a part of his life, that he would eventually tell me. And then I forgot about it until New Year's Eve, 1991. My husband, for 2 weeks, had been real irritable. I knew he was working up to tell me something. I didn't know what it was. I'd forgotten all about Halloween. And he said, well, I really need to talk to you about something that's going on in my life, and I don't know how to tell you.
You think that's lifetime, though?
All of a sudden, I had this flashback, and I saw, clear as day, him looking in the mirror, fixing his makeup.
And doing a good job.
And doing a good job. And I looked at him, and I said, you want to be a cross-dresser, don't you? And he was shocked. He was like, actually, I've been one my whole life, I believe.
Okay, now let me ask you, Heather, was that a moment of saying, finally, I get to release this to the woman I love, or what was that moment like?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely the biggest burden I've ever, gotten off my chest in my whole life, so to speak.
Married/heterosexual.
It's just the fact that I had planned to tell her the night that she said this, it blew my mind that she actually discovered it before I had the chance to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself was just mind-blowing.
Marie, were you shocked?
Actually, no, I was, well, yes and no. I had been working as a nurse in an emergency room for years and years. And we were in bed one night, and I just found out I was 2 months pregnant. And he said, I have...
A lot of NDAs end after like a year or 5 years. Not all of them, but like a lot of NDAs are like timed NDAs. It just protects like a certain period of time of like staying ahead of the bad press or whatever, putting like a hold on any coverage.
I have to tell you this, and I'm thinking, this is the worst thing it's going to be.
Also, any NDAs also would be invalidated if there were anything like illegal involved.
The worst, because he's very quiet, and we hadn't been married that long, and I thought, this is it. And he says, I cross-dressed, and I went, that's it?
That's what I was wondering too, yeah.
And I'm going, oh.
Like at a certain point, I think the NDAs would wear off. They might also not really if what you're saying, like in the scenario you're talking about where they're part of like kind of a social engineering thing, they may not even know it. They might have just been like, hey, do you want a couple grand to come on this show and play this character and whatever, and that's it. They may not even view this through the lens of that could have been it. They're just like, oh, they just wanted like a wacky episode of a TV show.
Okay.
Not a big deal to you?
Not a problem. Not a problem.
My Thorpe NDA?
First of all,
I have zero inside information about the Thorpes.
I think this is great that you all, are so well adjusted and understand and accept each other so well. But I do, because that's a personal thing, and whatever works in their relationship is fine with me. But I just think that many wives would have a problem. Am I wrong? I mean, oh, excuse me, there are hands up back here. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to know, like, how old you were when you wanted to decide to actually do this.
Oh, I was around 12, 13.
So you've been keeping this secret for a long time?
Oh, yeah.
And what did you dress up in your mom's clothes?
Yeah, that's how I discovered it. I was in her closet for some reason, and all of a sudden I just decided to put on her clothes. It just came over me. I never thought of it before, and I liked the feeling. And I just continued doing it.
And did she ever confront you?
Well, I was about 12 then, and when I was 15, she caught me fully dressed in her wedding.
Even if you couldn't, like, sew any kind of, like, direct, I don't know if correlation is the right word because I'm really high, but, like, direct connections to it. I think if you interviewed enough people and could kind of, even if they didn't really understand what was going on, I think you could start to kind of put a picture together, but that's just so much work of, like, research of tracking people down, and are people going to talk to you? What are they going to remember? Are they even going to be honest? Like,
dress. She had gone out for the
I really
evening,
want to
but
hear the
returned
story,
home
though. You know,
unexpectedly.
I want to hear
And I was totally made
hear
up,
the interviews.
And she just ordered me out of the clothes and said I should be ashamed of myself, and boys don't dress like girls, and the whole 9 yards. And from that moment on, that's when the guilt factor started creeping into it. Because before that, I had fun.
Wow, you went for broke, full tilt with the wedding dress. That was brave. That was brave.
I just wanted to know, do you dress this way only at home, or do you dress this way out in public or to work?
We go
Trad
shopping,
girl.
we go out to lunch, out to dinner, to movies. We've even gone on a plane. I mean, we've
We've even
everything.
gone on a plane.
And do people ever snicker, or do they ever, I mean, first of all, the guys
Where's
look
boy
great.
Tony?
Do people ever say, you know, particularly in Shirley's case,
Look at
because
that
you are
lady in
so
the back.
tall,
She really
do
wa-
people
she's got a
ever,
lot to say.
You know, clock you and say, wait a minute.
Yes, it happens more often than we find comfortable, but it's something that we have to do. It fulfills him.
What a look.
It makes him happy. It enhances our life. It is a wonderful experience, and he is a good man, and I'm proud to be seen with him. Yes, exactly.
There are a lot of tall
I publish
people
a
in the
magazine for the
audience.
cross-dressing community called Crosstalk, and this subject does come up over and over again. It's probably one of the biggest concerns a heterosexual crossdresser has.
What subject, you mean how the wife will...
How a wife will react. It's a tremendous concern, and I hear it from the crossdresser's point of view as the magazine's publisher all the time. I'd like to hear from
He's the
Colleen and
publisher.
Shirley how they felt bottling it up inside and how they felt finally being able to release it and to have the acceptance they're having from their wives.
Well,
Well, listen, nothing against that guy, but how can I trust anything he says when he failed to lead in with that he is like he publishes a magazine about this topic? You know what I mean? He's not an unbiased person.
Getting it out.
Yes, Junk, these are, how did they phrase it? I can't remember. It was something heterosexual, but I don't remember what it was. But they're heterosexual cross-dressers.
Would help with education. And
But there's
getting-
another word
getting
that they
across to
use too, but
people,
I can't
basically.
remember what it is.
Well, when my husband told me, when he realized that this was not going to go
Lisa.
away, that this had to be part of his life, and he needed to share this with me, he went and educated himself on the subject. And he had all sorts of brochures. He had wives' newsletters for me to read when he told me. And I think a lot of that factors into how the wives accept.
Okay,
If
well,
the
let me put a
wives-
pin right there when you say the wives accepting. Are there wives in the audience that can give me a point of view on this? Wives who want to share how they think they would feel? You guys scared? Oh, sorry.
Lots of trad girls in
Okay,
the
are you
audience
married?
at this one.
Okay.
I have nothing against these people or anything else, but I would be stunned. It would just totally blow me away, and I would have a
I
real
wouldn't
hard
be
time dealing
surprised,
with it,
Junk.
I
He
think.
talks about it, or he used to talk about it
Would be
quite a
such a
bit.
problem that you'd leave the marriage?
I don't know. I've put up with a lot of stuff, so I don't know if this is something I could just work through. But it would definitely take me aback, and it would be something to work through.
I think that's probably fair, and you women can understand.
There again, I
Me
think
too,
it's,
ATF Media.
It's
I wouldn't
something
mind.
that it takes a lot of love and compassion and understanding.
Be quite a vibe
when
check.
someone comes out of the closet and
Doing it
says,
right
"I'm
now? That'd be a real
cross-dresser,"
vibe check.
This is an issue that affects the entire family, not just you and your spouse.
Exactly
but all
right.
of the people that you love and care about. And so we have made it a point.
If you weren't here earlier, Junk, the guy that's with Marie, I think her husband is like super mega tall.
To integrate this into the whole family.
And this is part of their family. This is Marie and Shirley's daughter. This is Leanne. Welcome, Leanne. When we come back, I want to talk to Leanne and see how you feel about your dad cross-dressing in women's clothes. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and also hear how this man's cross-dressing led him down a path that was so painful and so destructive that he actually thought about taking his own life. Our topic today, my husband...
So we're going from like really positive, now we're going to move over to the darker side.
Wears my clothes, cross-dressers, and their wives. Hope you'll join us for today's Lisa.
Dude, what's wrong with the crimper? Hey, Amber.
would you react if your husband confessed to you that he enjoyed wearing women's clothes? Colleen and Marie decided to stand by their husbands after learning that they were cross-dressers. In fact, Colleen and Heather say that cross-dressing has actually improved their marriage better than ever because of it.
Yes.
That guy is just so tall. Like, he's
That
so
my
tall.
husband told me, and it was such a big deal for him, that he loved.
Did you guys ever see that picture of the Bidens posing with the Carters, but like the camera perspective made it look like Joe Biden was like this giant that was like towering over the Carters? That's the vibe. Like, he's so much bigger than everybody else on the stage.
Me unconditionally to share such a deep personal fact about himself, and it actually brought us closer together.
Your question?
My question is this. Do they dress this way in the bedroom, and are you aroused or excited by this dress, the women, to the
Actually,
husbands?
that's a very interesting question, because the way they dress has nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
It has nothing at all to do with sex. This is just who they are when they're dressed.
I mean,
This
we're
is
naked
not
just like
sexual.
everybody else.
But the question is, do you wear women's lingerie to bed, and do you wear it when you're making love to your wives?
I don't.
No. It's a rare occasion.
That's an individual thing. That's it.
I'd like to know if you cross-dress in public, and if so, what do you do about restroom facilities?
I use
Uh-oh.
the ladies' room wherever
Uh-oh.
I go in public dressed like this. It would create quite a ruckus using a men's room dressed like this.
Oh, yes, and likewise.
What?
But you make a special
that's not
point
cool?
of avoiding large crowds use single occupancy restrooms.
Dress like that.
Yeah.
Not that difficult to
I will go
avoid.
to the gents dressed in the ladies' clothing.
So, you offended by it?
Well, not by that, but I'm saying I've gone to the men's room because the men's room line are always shorter.
Here's some simulation threads, right? Both episodes we've seen so far have involved discussions over women using the men's room.
Yes. I want to know if when you go out with your husbands, do you hold their hand?
Trad girl.
Oh, I think it just depends on where we're at. But ordinarily, for me, it's not a problem, because this is still my husband. Whether he's Shirley or my husband, he's still my husband. The love and the affection is still there.
Are you sexually turned off?
I like
him
seeing
when
the
he's
crowd,
dressed
what
as a
they
woman?
like, trying to gauge what
For
they
me,
think.
This has nothing to do with sex. This is not a sex thing. It's not. No. The answer would be no. No.
See, because I don't know about you, I think that, for me, that would be a deal breaker. I mean, just in terms of sexual relatability. Leanne, tell me how you found out that your dad was wearing women's clothes, and what does this do to your family?
When I first found out, actually my younger sister peeked under the door, and I happened to be home, and she told me to come look underneath the door, and I did, and there he was in one of my mom's nightgowns and her lingerie, and I immediately told Marianne to go into her bedroom and shut the door. But then so I knew, and my sister knew, but this didn't come out until maybe, I would say, maybe 2 years ago. Where
You didn't tell anybody you knew?
No.
Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Did it change the way you felt about your dad?
Yeah, it was like the big white elephant in the living room, where everybody kind of walks around it, and we all were very careful about what we said. Yeah, it was a big secret. So when it did come out, it was like the biggest relief. I mean, he's the greatest dad in the whole world, and I couldn't ask for a better dad.
There you go. The real deal is, and again, I gotta say, good for you guys, because that's your family dynamic, and it's wonderful that your children are accepting and that everybody is up to speed with this thing. But not all wives.
Hey, what's
and
up,
not
Stephen
all
David?
families take it so well. When we come back, you're going to
Hey,
meet
Cody
this
Turbo.
man, who I think has a real tragic story. His wife kicked him out of the house, filed for divorce when she found out that he was a cross-dresser. And this man's wife says his cross-dressing, she says, you know what, it's an addiction. It's like an alcoholic.
I've got like the munchies and I need something, but the only snacks I have are like weed treats, so I have to take more. I have to eat some of this brownie.
He is desperate to find what he calls a cure for this thing before he loses his family. Their stories are next, so stay close. Welcome back. Our topic today, men who are married who like to cross-dress. And we've heard the stories of our first guests who are very accepting of it. Their families are going along with great harmony. Our next guest, I think, represent the point of view that most of us would have and the problems that I believe would surface in a relationship like this, where the husband wants to wear women's clothes. This is Lauren and Sherry. And unlike Heather and Shirley, their wives have not been so understanding.
Did they match
about
on
the
purpose?
cross-dressing. Lauren's wife left him because of his cross-dressing. And Sherry's marriage could very well end up if you don't stop. Is that right?
That's correct. It's a possibility.
So your wife has just said, I don't get it, or what?
That's basically what she said. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't want to deal with it. This is your problem, not mine. So do something.
And what's your response?
We've talked about it. I've gone through 4 psychiatrists.
Okay, if she had no idea, if she had like no idea that he was into this, and it's like something that she's like not, if it's like something that's especially gonna, I mean, and that would impact your like broader life to some extent. I think a huge life change like that, if somebody's like, hey, this is a pretty huge shift here. I don't think there's like anything wrong with, I understand like the heartbreak involved or whatever, but like if it's something that's like crosses a line for you, I don't think there's anything wrong with stepping out of a relationship.
Psychiatrists and tried a bunch of different things to try
like
and get a handle on it.
regardless of what the issue
looking at it
is.
as an OCD and tried the drugs that they did for that, the obsessive compulsive disorders, and those have not seemed to work.
I see it the same way as if like you like got a job across country and expected the person would just automatically, move with you.
So you want to stop. You want to, quote, be fixed,
What's
find
up,
a cure.
Taco?
Sure.
Okay, explain this to me. If you love this woman, and you do, and she says, I can't handle this, it's an addiction, get over it. If you were a cocaine addict or an alcoholic, people get over that. People, it's hard, and they get to the other side of it if the marriage is on the line. Is this something
Do
that
they?
you can
Do they,
just stop
Lisa?
doing it if you're going to lose your wife?
We haven't gotten to that yet. All I can say is that I would really give it a try. If it was this is it, if you do it one more time, I'm out of the picture, well, then I think I would probably stop indefinitely.
Boy, I bet she's not going to be too happy that you're doing this.
She is not.
Yeah. Lauren, is that naive to just think, oh, you can just stop?
I don't know.
Have you tried to stop?
Like I think most cross-dressers over the years, yes, I've tried to stop. I've gone through the cycle pattern of
Joanna
purging,
Kearns.
acquiring clothing, wearing them, beginning to feel very negative about myself, ashamed of myself, and throwing them away and promising that I would never do it again. And the feelings come back, and go through that cycle over and over and over. Until
I
you
don't
finally
remember.
get to
I
a point
watched
in your
that, but
life
I don't
that
remember
you become
anything
so
about it.
sick
I did a
of the-
review of it though.
The cycle, and you need to, at least I needed to find out who I am and what's going on inside of me and get some balance in my life.
How difficult was it for you when your wife left? I mean, it was over this issue?
Cross-dressing, a good percentage, yes. I would say probably 80% of it. There were a few other issues. There usually isn't any divorces more than one.
Wow,
thing, but,
ATF media.
I think the cross-dressing had the majority of the problems. How it affected me, I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to die. I mean, this woman that I met was, I was in love with her like nobody I've ever been in love with. I mean, she was like a soulmate to me. And she was my best friend, and I miss her tremendously. But she had a very difficult time dealing with the cross-dressing. She attempted over the years of our 5.5 years of our marriage to try to understand it and get it into some perspective, but for her, I think image was very important, and I believe there was some shame, some embarrassment and shame to it, and she couldn't get the
What
perspective.
did she say to you about it?
She didn't. She just said she couldn't.
I like
really
the
understand
Christmas
it.
photo.
She tried very hard to understand it, but she felt like maybe it's something that I could do, but leave her out of it.
George
She asked not
Santos.
to be included into it in any way if possible.
It seems like you still love and care about this woman very much.
Oh, very, very, very much. I love her.
Enough to stop cross-dressing, and is there a chance that she would come back?
No, she won't come back, but I would have to try, yeah. I mean, I love her that much. I would try. It would probably be a mistake because the dual-genderedness inside of me is a part of who I am. But I believe that sometimes in life you get to a point where sometimes you have to make a...
So this situation then is different from the two guys we saw before said they were heterosexual cross-dressers. This guy is dual-gendered. So he's in a different space than the previous people.
Very tough decision, a very hard decision. And the love I had for this woman was I would try to give it up. That doesn't mean that I'm not a cross-dresser. I'd always be a cross-dresser in my heart and soul.
It's not an addiction. I believe they're born this way, and you can't compare it to alcoholism or anything like that because, I mean, this is part of who they are. This is part of the reason why when the wives really
Don't say
understand,
that about
they
Grace.
come to the
Come on.
conclusion, hey, wait a minute. These are some of the personality traits I really loved in my husband to begin with. He's sensitive, he's open, he cares about my needs. The reason he does is because he's a cross-dresser, and a lot of women don't get that. But I'm telling you, he's born this way. I believe that.
Tell me what you're responding to here. What's...
My heart just goes out to him because I understand there's a tremendous amount of pain and pressure that they go through, and
yes,
it's so hard.
The audience reactions are so good.
Because they're just ordinary people, just like everyone here. So
This is like Lalo and Ben scale.
it shouldn't be this painful for them, and we as a society have made it impossible. What is the problem here? They're hard-working, everyday people.
Here's a wife who loves her husband very much, who's saying, look, this is why they're good husbands, this is why they're sensitive, why they're compassionate. What's the problem we're having with it? Yes.
She says, what is the problem here? There is a big problem here. We don't understand. I don't find this normal. I don't find this... I mean,
It's
do
just
these...
a normal man.
It's just
He
clothes.
goes to work every day.
And you're,
we
you're
have
trying to make
6
us
children.
say, you don't understand why... This is so unordinary.
Okay,
This is not normal.
He's a good father. He's a good worker.
Can I try to
You
explain?
need to make us understand because we do not understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say she's right. I mean, that's why we're doing the show. We're confused by it. There are roles in society which most of us adhere to and accept and operate within.
We want to try and help educate people out there that are going to find out about their husbands, or try to encourage people to
At
tell
least she
their
summoned a
wives
few
or girlfriends
tears, even if
before
they
they're
were
married
crocodile.
because of this, because there's so many societal misconceptions. This is not about sex. This has nothing to do with sex. This is just clothes.
He can't
just
get a word
feels
in
like
edgewise.
He feels more complete this way to outwardly show more of his feminine side. He
Okay,
has
you guys-
masculine and feminine just like I do, just like everyone does.
There are a lot
This
of
is just his
theories, I should
balance.
say, as to why this happens and why
Just a what?
it supposedly is not an addiction that's so easy to just stop. Let's get into that when we come back. And hang on to your questions. I will definitely try to get to them. I want you to meet the author of a book called Cross-Dressers and Those Who Share Their Lives. When we come back, we're going to meet this woman who has interviewed thousands of cross-dressers, and we'll try to explain why she believes their desire to cross-dress starts before
This is a really
they're
interesting,
born.
like,
We'll get into it
cultural
right after
time
this.
capsule, I think. Like, obviously, it's not as straight up entertaining as some of the other ones, but I feel like this is a really, like, culturally important episode.
I spend 3 hours putting on my face before I dare go outside. Plucking and waxing. And even then, someone always notices. I can see by the look in their eyes. The disgust.
Yeah, he was getting stepped on.
Maybe they're right. Maybe I am disgusting.
Scene from ER. Did you guys see this episode of ER? Where you hear this person's pain over cross-dressing and saying that maybe it is disgusting. Is there someone here, and I want to encourage you, don't be afraid. These people, you know, this is a mysterious topic, and I think a lot of us fundamentally just don't get it. But our guests today understand that, and that's why they're here. So don't be afraid. Is there someone here who finds it disgusting? Who finds that this is, you know, just something that's
This would be such an interesting type of show to have now. I don't know that you could really, I mean, I think you could, but you'd have to exclude a lot of really keno personalities who would want to be extreme one way or the other. But it's just interesting that you could have these, you know, these kind of like pretty decent size scale public like discussions like this, and just ask someone in the crowd like, hey, is there anybody here who finds this disgusting, and then let them talk.
acceptable in some way. What's your question?
I just want to make a comment that I find this really disgusting, and I don't know, I would never be able to handle it. So.
What upsets you about it?
One's in the chat.
It doesn't seem normal. It's just abnormal.
Yeah, what's your comment, please?
Well, I know that if my dad were doing it, I would be really embarrassed to go out in public with him.
Trad girl.
And just like be able to, I would think very differently about him, even though it isn't necessarily.
Shirley, is Leanne embarrassed by you? She said no.
No. I've gone out shopping with my children, and they're not embarrassed. If you're embarrassed, that's your problem.
We have a 17-year-old daughter, too.
I want to get these people to stand up. This couple here, would you two stand? They have 5 daughters. They have been married for 25 years.
Dame Edna.
Now, I can honestly say, which one of you is the cross-dresser?
Right here.
Okay.
Right here.
What's your name?
My name is Carol.
And?
Norma.
All right. You have 5 daughters at home. Now, did they know about your cross-dressing for the whole time?
They were introduced as they got older, and they're now married, and they're
Look at these wedding pictures, audience. How great is this? Carol, this is you in the dress?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Made me feel very happy. Emotionally, it's very
What a
wonderful,
wild
frankly.
episode. Really interesting.
And your daughters, you don't think suffered any kind of adjustment problems because of it?
No, they were told at a time when they could handle it. Although I should mention a number of cross-dressers and their wives are telling children at a very early age, and we find out that the children...
I don't know why they dress alike, but you know who should really dive into this episode is Ruby Spacek. She's into that one thing, like what does she call it? She was talking about it with Tropical, where like your attraction is based on like that you want the flip gender version of yourself. Do you think that's at play here? Ruby could really probably deep dive this.
Children accept it. I have granddaughters, several. One is 5, the other is 8, and they've been introduced to it, and they think it's cute, and they giggle, and there's just no problem whatsoever with it.
Well, congratulations on 25 years of marriage. I mean, you know, most people can't make it past 5 years, so cross-dressing has not hurt this relationship any. But Sherry, you have children. What are their ages?
I have a 7-year-old daughter and an 18-month-old boy.
Do they know that Dad wears women's clothes?
Every hairstyle you've seen looks like a Ruby wig.
So you think it would...
Isn't Ruby really into that? Where like you're attracted to the like opposite gender version of yourself? I thought she did like a whole series on that.
Would have a negative effect on them?
I think
that, yeah, autogynephilia. There
I
we
guess
go.
you had some people that feel like it's a disgusting thing. What I'm really concerned about is, for my children's sake, is that if I were discovered and some of the parents of their friends were to find out, they might feel the same way.
Well, and that's a thing where that's a very real concern and very sensitive for you to be aware with your kids. It's hard enough for kids when mom and dad are accepted and they kind of...
Ruby's audience, her chat is like really entertaining to me because I feel like half of them are like red pill people from the Thorpe world, and then like the other half are like these like more like woke people. There's like so there's like this constant push, but somehow everybody like gets along. But making content for an audience like that, I think would be kind of, you know what I mean? Of like, anything you do is at risk of like really upsetting the one half of your audience.
Stay in the background when there's something significant about mom and dad and they get the snickers and they get ridiculed, then it's not your situation and just your choice, then it affects your children. So in that case, as you look through this dilemma in your life, you want to quit for them and for your wife?
Oh yes.
She gets gender.
So many
really?
reasons to quit. There are just as many to quit as to.
I think I would.
Peggy,
Yeah.
This is Peggy Rudd, who's written a lot of books on this
I don't
subject
get that
and
feeling at
interviewed
all
a lot of
from her.
cross-dressers. What are the chances of Sherry being able to quit? Is it a habit? Is it an addiction?
I don't believe
Undercurrent
it's a
of
habit,
East
and I don't
Indians and
believe it's an addiction.
Pakistanis. They're
I
under the
believe it
red
is
pill.
inborn.
Well, you say that there are a lot of misconceptions in it, that we just don't
Is this
get it,
Carolyn
what this
Lee, the
thing
polka
is.
queen?
Certainly, there are many misconceptions. The fact that people think they are gay, perverted, mentally ill, or second-rate human beings, all of those untrue. The fact is they are superior.
The fact is they are superior. All right, will you defend that statement when we come back?
I will defend that statement.
Okay, because I bet there'll be some challenges to that. We'll take a break. We'll find out more right after this. Thank you.
They probably have them, but I bet they aren't as good for
Police
ratings.
have been getting some very bad publicity lately, what with the O.J. trial and the Rodney King beating. But every day, these men and women put their lives on the line to serve and protect. Are they getting a bad rap, or are they finally getting what they deserve? What do you think about cops under fire? We're talking about cross-dressing today, and I asked some actors, female impersonators, drag queens from the Queen Mary to come down here today, and that's this row here. Would all of you stand up, please? Because welcome, I'm glad to have you here, because I think we're confused.
Hey, Liza.
What I want to know is, all right, what's the difference between a drag queen, a female impersonator, a cross-dresser, and can you tell the difference when you see them?
Usually. The difference is that we are professional and we study very hard how to make ourselves theatrically look more like women. These ladies want to become homogenous in society.
Want to be passable as women, is that right? Okay.
Subtly dressed than we are. When we dress for stage, we dress very flamboyantly. We
I
give
didn't know
body.
Debbie Harry was in the crowd
hello.
tonight.
So it's a mistake to ever say, or let me ask you, do people mistake the cross-dressers for drag queens?
Those
Yeah.
who don't understand, yeah, they do. Those who don't understand, yeah, they do.
I want to make one comment. The audience does not realize how fortunate these people are today to go out onto the streets as they're dressed. Because when I was very young, death, sudden death. So give them a round of applause, I would like to ask, because they have the guts to go out and do it.
You are all so talented and so beautiful. That's what gets me about these. So beautiful. I wish I could do the makeup. And in fact, you know, we've got somebody backstage right now working on a male heterosexual member of our audience who's never worn woman's clothes. Can you imagine how he's feeling now?
What an eye roll.
We'll get into that in
Jeez.
just a minute. Peggy, you
Come
saw
on,
him
get that
earlier.
guy.
How's he looking?
Oh, she needs to defend her
Looking good,
statement.
gorgeous. All right, Peggy, you said, would you stand with
Oh
me?
my
You
God,
said that the cross-dressers are superior. Okay, now what do you mean?
I mean, they have integrated the total of humanity. They have balanced the masculine side of their being with their feminine side. They have learned to express the better qualities of masculinity.
You're entitled
and the
to
better
your
qualities
opinion,
of
Laughing Cedar.
femininity. This is the goal. I'm not saying that
Obviously.
all cross-dressers have reached their level, but that is certainly what we strive for.
But you say that they can't just give it up like an addiction. Why do you believe it's inborn?
I have talked to too many people who have tried desperately to give this up. And the ramifications are alcoholism, drugs, attempted suicide, very, very terrible things. And the record I have seen that in time for giving this up is 20 years. And when this person came out, he came out gangbusters. You know, he's all over the place now.
Thank you very much, Peggy.
Gangbusters.
I got to break away for a second, but when we come back, as I
Wow.
said to these ladies, we're going to meet this woman. Look backstage. This woman is known to many as the beauty consultant to the cross-dressers. Now, she is back there working with someone from our audience because the men who do this, as we've said, want and need for the transformation from male to female to be believable. So things like how to sit, how to gesture, how to walk become very important. So again, this heterosexual male member of our audience is going through a transformation. We just thought you might want to see what he looks like
This
before and after.
is
So we'll take a break and we'll
wild.
be right back to see if he can pass as a lady after this.
Can you imagine the reaction to this from everybody, from like just about every side, if a show like this were to air now?
Barbara Cochran-Barry reveals an eerie irony between O.J. Simpson and the real Johnny Cochran, exclusively next Lisa.
Bring back confrontational daytime
For most
TV.
cross-dressers, their appearance is a way for them to externalize the femininity that they're feeling inside, and for that reason, they take dressing very seriously. Joan Bray, who's joined us, helps them do that, and this is the result of
This
our
is the
makeover
result on
backstage
our
before. This is
heterosexual
Loretta.
audience member.
Now, Loretta, stand up. Stand up, Loretta. Can we get a wide shot here of Loretta? Take a little turn. Wide shot of Loretta. Okay. Now, Loretta, have a seat while we explain what went on here. You're looking fine.
Thank you.
King TL, what's up, Daninsky?
Now, the before picture is what will blow you away. Here's the picture. Look at this. Uh-huh. This is amazing. There are, you know, it does become important, the gesturing and the sitting and all like that. How did you accomplish this, and what is significant?
Well, the feminine deportment is very significant because the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the movements of your hands, it's feminine. And if you don't have all that pulled together, then you immediately lose it.
I'm just surprised that there's a person like you out there who makes
You could have a show
living
like this, I guess, on like Gumroad.
consulting cross-dressers.
Or maybe BitChute.
This must be going on a lot more than we know.
Well, I don't know the statistics, but I've heard it's like 1 out of every 10 men to some extent. I'm
Wow,
not
look at the people at your office, folks. I'm telling you, somebody's wearing ladies' underwear.
Cross-dressers out there. Trust me, they are doctors, they are lawyers, they are policemen, they're in the military. They're ordinary people, just like all of you.
And very high intelligence.
And I have clients in every profession, every walk of life.
Yes.
I'd like to point
And
out-
do most of them have it in the closet? Do they do it?
Most of them have to keep it in the closet because of their careers.
Well, Loretta, you are out now, and let me tell you, you did a fine job. I would say that Loretta's passable as a lady. We'll be back in a minute. Hang with us, everybody.
Man, what an
If
episode.
you'd like to be our studio guest while you're in the Los Angeles area, just give a call to 213-520-2708 for free tickets. Go ahead.
I think it's just great that you are being yourself and like you're not trying to be someone else.
Thank you. Yes.
Do any of you have sons?
Wasn't that like a recurring thing in Memphis? Like first it was Kaufman trying to teach the rednecks how to be basic hygiene, and then it like evolved up to Boy Tony, and then it became Sonny trying to teach the women of the Smoky Mountain region how to be more feminine.
And if so, how do you address this with them? Because boys identify so much with their fathers.
We have 2 older sons, and one is he's in his middle 20s now, and we had the other one's a little older, but
Gorky
yes,
Park?
they are aware. And
What was their big song?
Yes, it was.
Was it Bang?
Shocking,
How did that go?
But now they're very supportive, very.
Well, actually, you said...
This
you
guy's
look pretty
been
good.
waiting the whole show to talk.
Oh, Dad, you're looking hot.
Well, my question was, when you go out in public, you know, and they ask you a question, do you, like a drive-in or something, they ask you something, you say, I want goobers, or do you use a different voice, because that makes,
I don't change my voice. I may lower the level of it, but I don't consciously change the pitch or anything. Neither do I.
Because Loretta needs help with that. Loretta. Yes, go ahead.
Lisa, I'm a grandmother, and I'd like to know
Gangster
if we're going to
Gloria.
do this in front of their grandchildren.
We have grandchildren. We have 4 grandchildren.
Grandchildren?
Yes.
And
First of all, we are not alone. We consider ourselves a unit, a family unit. And everything we do, we start as a family and talk. And yes, we've talked about it and explained, and it can be done with love and compassion.
Do you share clothes and accessories?
Yes, we do.
We do.
You do?
Yeah.
Sure do.
We can't.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference here, huh?
Yeah, we do share jewelry, even though she has a more flamboyant taste.
Are you a little bit more conservative? I can see that right away. We'll be right back.
Really? That's more flamboyant?
Hotel accommodations for the Lisa Show are furnished by the beautiful Doubletree Marina Beach Hotel, Marina Del Rey's only four-diamond hotel, the Doubletree Marina Beach Hotel.
Oh, man, imagine staying at the Doubletree.
I had a question for the wives. Have you guys ever fantasized being with another woman?
No.
No.
No
No,
lesbian
he's
tendencies.
always my husband, no matter what he wears.
Absolutely not.
He asked them if they had any lesbian
I'm as
tendencies.
happy with my masculine side as I am with my feminine side.
I'm going to get to these questions as we say goodbye, but I just want to first of all thank all of you today because I think this was brave for you to do, and thanks for all of your questions. We'll see you folks next time. Thanks for watching. Here we go. Yeah.
What an episode! Like,
the wives were saying earlier that that's
wow.
not a feminine thing and not a homosexual thing, but why have they changed their names, and why do you refer to them sometimes as she?
Well, we go out in public, so if
pronoun
I called
issues.
him by his real birth-given name, people would stare. I mean, he wants to pass.
Yeah, we don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
Right.
We just want
And
to
he
be
wants
assimilated.
he wants to be as much of a woman as possible out in public. We go out as two women, so of course I'm going to call him Heather. He doesn't look like.
I know you hold hands, but do you kiss in public, and are you physically affectionate?
Not really.
No.
And I couldn't, there is no possible way I could, this is a woman when we're out, so I couldn't very well use a male name.
I think if this is what you guys want to do, it's great.
Oh my gosh.
I noticed she came out there with the tank top.
Okay, I'm hoping we'll be okay with this. If for some reason it's whatever, if it takes a stream down, I apologize. I've got time to come. I can come back up with something else. But this is from April 17th, 2002, and it's got a guy named Mitch Ryder. And if you don't know who Mitch Ryder is, he's like a Midwest, at least a Midwest indie wrestling legend from like the late 90s, 2000s. Very Memphis coded. Sorry for the mono, we're available.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome man's best friend, Jerry Springer.
Thank you very much. Hey, welcome to the show. Oh, how nice you are. My guests today say they've been leading lives of deceit, and they're here. Yeah. And they're here to share their tumultuous tales of love, lust, and lies on this, A Springer to Remember.
Sooner or later.
Please meet Mitch. Mitch says he likes to sit back and enjoy his girlfriend.
This is Mitch Ryder.
Mitch, what
What is it called? Sooner or later?
What's going on?
Well, it's really pretty simple, Jerry. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for a couple years.
See what I mean? Just his voice alone, you know he would have been great in Memphis.
It's a good relationship. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, things are good. And the sex is absolutely incredible. I mean, the things that woman can do with her body is just insane. And we get along just fine, Jerry, and we're very experimental. I mean, this is 2002. We like to try new things, and something that we found it's a huge turn on is that I like to watch my woman have sex with other men. And we've been doing this for 6 years. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. It's great.
you enjoy having your you like watching your girlfriend have sex with other men.
That's right, yeah.
And you've been doing this for 6 months now.
6 or 7 months, yeah.
Where are you?
Oh,
when
it can't
she's
be
having
too
sex?
cheesy.
Well, that's what adds a great twist to it. We never tell the guy. Usually I'm hiding in the closet. Well, what a huge turn on it is, I'm hiding in the closet.
What's the point? You're in a closet.
Well, I mean, what a power trip. I mean, I get to see, when I'm having sex with my woman, I don't get to see, what the way that she throws her body around in complete passion.
Open your eyes.
Jerry, there's something that really
You
this
get turned
ego
on by
boost. Yeah, it turns me on. What a power trip.
Well, what do
to
you mean
know.
the guy doesn't know anything about it?
Well, see, that's what turns me on is because there I see this guy and I see the desire in his eyes. I know that he wants my woman, and the only reason that she's having sex with him is because I want her to. The latest guy that she's been with, Jerry, he's young, and she's had sex with him several times, and I've watched every single time. But he's sending her flowers, he's calling all the time, he's writing her, and I'm here to let him know today, Jerry, that this woman that he thinks is his
This has
girlfriend
gotta
is in fact
stop.
my girlfriend, and the only reason that she's had sex with him is because I've wanted her to.
He's sending her roses.
You feel a little bit bad?
Well, there was, I never intended for anybody to get hurt or anything like that, and I don't feel bad because this is what we do. I mean, this is 2002, and people are, liberal, and if they engage in sex, they have to be, the cameras are everywhere. People are watching.
So you're going to tell this guy?
Yeah, I got to let him know because
he doesn't know that this is going on. He thinks this is his girlfriend.
Oh,
That's what he
man,
likes. But he doesn't know who you are when you come out. unless
I
he's
think
looked in the
Lisa
closet.
probably.
He has no idea. No.
All right, he's outside the studio. He knows he's going to hear something. Let's bring him in. His name is Lee. Here's Lee.
Here comes Lee. Oh my God. Looks like a young Chuck Liddell.
Lee, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You don't know why you're here, do you?
I have no idea.
Okay. So you don't know who this fella is. This fella is Mitch. Mitch, this is Lee.
Because he's hiding in the closet.
Okay. What? You're here because he wants to tell you something, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, talk to him.
Look, man, I know you don't know who I am, but I know who you are. I definitely know who you are. And I'm here to tell you that the woman that you think is your girlfriend is not your girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. And the only reason that she's had sex with you, Lee, is because I wanted her to.
Hey, Bob Brown.
In the closet watching you have sex. Every time. Every time. She's not your girlfriend, man. I know you're falling for her. I've seen the letters that you wrote, man. And I'm here to tell you, it's time for you to go. We're sick of it, man.
What the hell are you talking about?
Alexis is with me.
Let me tell you something, man. Alexis is my woman. Look, I love her. And she loves me too, though, and there ain't nothing's going to change it. Not you, not nobody is going to make me change a lot of my feelings about her.
Something. You're just a kid, man. You're still green. You're still wet behind the ears. There's absolutely
You're still
no way
green.
You can do for that woman what I can do for her. She's got more moves than X-Lax, boy, and I know that you can't take care of her, man. I'm a true man. I'm the one that's going to take care of her, man. You need to get out while you get...
Mitch Ryder is like, hey, bro, I've seen you hooking up with my wife, and you ain't getting the job done.
What you need to do is be grateful that you had the opportunity that you had with her and realize that it's over, man. She's my woman. She's been my woman for 2 years,
I don't believe
brother.
this.
2 years. And she will continue to be my woman.
How often have you been with her?
About 6, 7 times.
And does she tell you that she loves you and cares about you?
She sure has.
She does.
That's all part of the game, Jerry. I mean, if she didn't tell him that, then he...
No, he's a wrestler. He's a really good, entertaining wrestler. Big, like old school vibes with him. I didn't appreciate him at the time because it was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was just like, man, the guy was corny. But now looking back, especially after we've seen so much Memphis, it's like, man, I wish I would have paid more attention to Mitch Ryder. He had so many crazy rat stories and hotel stories, though, hooking up with like new female wrestlers that came through the territory.
He wouldn't fall for it.
Well, territory.
Let's bring her out. Here she is, Alexis.
Whoa, what do you mean, whoa? No, we need to talk.
What about what?
I want to know what's going on.
I'm having sex with you, and this is my man.
Is this sick perverted bastard telling me the truth? I want to know what's going on right now.
Let me tell you something. He's in the closet. He knows every birthmark and hair on your ass, baby. He's been watching. And yes, he has it on camera. And you know what?
Let's not go over that.
That's what Jedi Rich says. He says that the other guys are the warm up, and then he's the finishing the closing act.
Time to go, man. Time is time to go.
Nope. I'm sorry. You can't do that. I'm not going to do it.
Look, I love you. Okay?
For sure, Daninsky.
And that
Yeah.
would never change. I'm as holy.
I don't. I like you, but I love him. I love him. This is my man. But I like you, and you know what? It's just this is the way it is. It's not time to go.
He's got to go. That's
He's
what we're
not
talking
going.
about. You're not gonna
Hell
change
no.
Let me tell you something.
Yes, me.
He's leaving. No, he's leaving.
Yes, me.
No, let me tell you
No, hell no.
He's leaving, honey.
He ain't going nowhere. I'm in control now. Okay?
You passed up those opportunities, Cody Turbo.
I know you're not.
Paro is getting his name out there for sure, but I mean King is old. He's got years of lore. Like that's hard to overcome. But I think Paro is rising up, and I'm not just glazing King because he donated 5 memberships yesterday.
Okay, you gonna stay in this relationship knowing that this is going on?
No,
He says
I'm not like that, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, let me tell you, he will be back because let me tell you, when we get done here, he'll be knocking on my door. He'll be knocking on my door. Hell, Jerry, you can come too if you want.
We'll be back.
Mitch Ryder was so man. I hate. I know it's like a big cliche, but it sucks whenever you look back on something that you kind of like didn't really pay attention to, and then you're like, man, if I would have paid attention, like I could have had some really good. Because I saw Mitch Ryder wrestle live a lot, but I never really paid much attention to him because it felt like I wasn't ready for that. I didn't have the Memphis lore, so I didn't really get the character all that much. You know, it just seemed really like corny and over the top. But now looking back, I'm like, man, I could have been like, you know, that could have been like a much more entertaining experience.
Got the money now. What you want to do? You just want to break and run now, right? That's right. That's bull. Man, you know what?
Going pimpless.
For me to continue doing this and subject my
You're not going nowhere.
Hey, you got a show idea? Would you like to be a guest on the Jerry Springer Show?
I would go on Paro, but his show is so late.
www.jerryspringer.com.
By that time, I'm like half asleep listening to Jedi Joy yap into the night.
Her visions revealed a great warrior who would defy an empire and become a legend.
Ooh, the Scorpion King. Oh, I should watch the Scorpion King.
Theaters Friday.
What do you do when you get out of high school and you have nowhere to go?
What up, Farrah?
What's next? I tried college, but it wasn't for me. I was at a crossroads, but I knew I had to do something. So I joined Job Corps. And with the skills I learned, I got a job at Metro Dade Police Department.
HIV Police Department.
But I have more places to go. One day, I'm going to be driving one of these.
Success lasts a lifetime. Join Job Corps. Call 1-800-733-JOBS.
Yeah. Paro could definitely bloom with the right kind of Heyman type character. Yeah, that music lineup was pretty cringe.
Confidence can be an everyday thing. When the door opens.
Oh my goodness!
Get ready for a wild.
Oh, I wish we could watch Blind Date.
Getting any?
Curves ahead. How many sexual partners have you had?
Take 2 couples and set the wheels of romance in motion. Just when things are rocking, we throw in someone new. That's the 5th wheel. Hey, it's romance in high gear.
Weeknights starting at 9 on WNAB-TV, Nashville's WB58.
Feminine Wash.
Now you can drive a new car regardless of your past credit history just by calling Automark Kia at 1-800.
Did any of you guys watch Jedi Joy wash her car over the weekend?
In as little as 5 minutes or less, right over the phone, and be driving a new car in as little as 30 minutes with no money down. New Kia Rio's just $69.99.
Oh, I remember Eliminate, yeah.
And every new Kia comes with Kia's 10-year or 100,000-mile long-haul warranty. Call
Since AI is going to replace all of those guys who stand out in the street and ask questions, since the AI could do much more interesting questions and reactions than you're probably going to get in real life, those people should shift over to making real dating shows again instead of just asking randos questions.
Automark Kia at 1-800-370-6897. Call now.
They got that. I bet they got that YouTube money.
Don't pay retail for your
South to
computer.
west.
Come to the Market Pro Computer Show and say.
The big kickoff to all this, right? Back when Jedi Joy did the Jedi Joy Gone Country, I'm pretty sure that was on the 21st, which is the day that YouTubers, for the most part, get paid. So I think they probably had like an influx of cash, so they were like really, feeling good.
Saturday and Sunday in Nashville. Computers for under $300, under $50. Monitors from $39.
I thought he was like being taught by OPC Don.
On famous brand digital cameras, cell phones, books, games, furniture and accessories, new, used or closeout deals from local, national, and regional dealers. Prices so low it will blow you away.
I can't take on any more responsibility.
Well, here's how to get it back on. DPI. Got it?
I've got a project with Bethadone, and that's my only outside work.
$39.95. No deposit or credit checks. Then call DPI and you're back on the phone. Fast. DPI. Real phone service. Real fast.
Get connected at Rentway, Ace Check Cashing, Cash America Pawn, Ace TV Rentals, or Winn-Dixie. And be sure to ask for DPI.
Well, see, right now, OPC Don is booking Lol Cow Rejects, he's trying to build up, like, the King TL versus Hurricane Paro rivalry, which they will eventually become frenemies when they make a united front on the show, you know what I mean? And that'll really kick off, like, the Lol Cow Rejects actual, like, first season. We're in, like, the early... This is, like, the beta test. Me and Bethadone, we're going to do a true crime podcast together. I'm also going to do a multi-part intimate interview with Bethadone, and she said that absolutely anything is on the table to talk about.
Four-wheelers. Are you a prostitute? Do you want to come on our show and tell your story? If so, please call us at 1-800-96-JERRY.
Do you think it's that involved, though? Like, do you think that OPC Don is really like, hey, let's not rush into this. Let's build up a little heat between Paro and King? Or do you think it's just happening like this because they're just two, opposite personalities clashing? When I write about this in my book, I'm going to present it as if I think OPC is masterminding it.
Welcome back, my guest. Reveal life's hardships on this day, Springer to remember.
I'm not going to do an IRL collab with Bethadone, but we're going to do like a Discord collab on a podcast.
Please meet Lexus. Lexus says she's ready to start a new life, but first she needs to get rid of her pimp.
I think I'm going to let Beth pick. She's pretty passionate about it.
Lexus, what's going on?
Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
I've been prostituting for the last 2 years, and I have 2 small children, and...
Somebody laughed in the crowd.
Well, this has only been going on for the last 2 years, so really they don't know, and that's why I want out.
Why did that guy laugh in the crowd at that?
Down on your luck, but you don't want to do this anymore?
Not anymore. And that's what I'm here to tell him today.
That was really funny.
Was it ever a good idea? I mean, like when you first started, did you say, hey, this is all right?
Probably about the first 8 months. It was okay, and I was making quite a bit of money. But then I realized that the life that I had prior to that wasn't so bad.
Here's Kim.
Oh, man. Listen to the heat he's getting already.
Hey, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Jerry?
What do you do for a living?
I'm a pimp.
You're a pimp?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? I'm a
Where do you go to
pimp.
school for that?
I agree, Stephen David. But it's fun when it's hard to tell. I like that better. I like both thinking that OPC Don is a complete buffoon who has no idea what he's doing and he's just bumbling through life. And then I also like the idea that he's like, when he's not on camera, he's slicking his hair back and he's like a super evil genius. So I like that. If I wasn't invested in the Lol Cow Rejects arc, I wouldn't have posted a promo for it. I'm definitely down to see what happens.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I have a PhD.
Looks like Savvy Guy.
So in other words, you don't do anything.
Wow.
So, and you get clients for her?
Yeah, so to speak. We get people to come in, and, she services them, out-of-towners, things of that nature.
So what do you do all day?
I take care of her.
What does that involve?
It involves everything. I take her shopping, get her clothes, things of that nature,
She can't shop for herself?
No, she can't shop. She can't do nothing for herself. Man, I take care of her.
What do you want to say to him? He says you can't do anything.
Okay.
He has
basically,
directly
the reason that I
lied
brought
to
you here
me
today
on many
is
occasions.
because I want out. I want my life back. And
There you go,
I'm giving it
laughing
out.
Cedar. Yeah, he's even from Maine. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you committed to me.
Hey,
for life,
Armani.
Man. We in this for the long haul. You're coming back with me. We're gonna, no. You're staying with me. All right.
I'm not married to you. You don't own me. I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're coming back with me. We're gonna stay in
You
Chicago.
can think what you want,
Okay.
but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you're coming back with me, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You used to watch Jerry Springer.
Whatever. That's all you're good for. With
It's
your
pretty
mouth shut and your
great.
legs open. That's all you're good for.
Hey, wait. You've known me for 2 years, and how do you know that? What was I doing before I met you?
You was eating out of trash cans, looking for something to eat, man.
Eating out of trash cans.
You
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of aura.
I need some money. I need some money. That's what you was doing. I need some money. I need some money.
What are you doing?
I need some money. That's what you told me.
Are you saying you think OPC Don was the architect for the direction of the Thorpe content?
Right? I need some money. And I helped you get some money. Now you got the money. Now what you want to do? You want to you just want to break and run now, right?
That's right.
That's bull. Man, you know what?
You haven't made me enough money for me to continue doing this and subject my
You're
kid.
mine. You're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere.
She is saying, hey, you're a nice fella, but goodbye.
No.
She's going on in another career.
No.
She's not telling you what to do for a living, so you don't tell her what to do for a
That's
living.
the thing. I do it. I'm the boss. Okay, you don't tell the boss what to do. I'm the boss.
You're a boss of someone else now because she's just quit.
Well, she's not You forget. You're coming home with me tonight, all right? All right? No. Sit your ass down because you come with me, all right?
Why is Jerry saying that she's moving to a different career? She didn't say that. She said that he wasn't paying her enough for her to stay with him. She's just looking to get somebody that can, bring the profits up.
No, because as of today, I don't take instructions
All right, that's all you want.
anymore.
That's all you're good for.
You can put your finger in my face all you
That's all
want.
you're good for. That's all you're good for.
You don't
That's all you're good for. Hooking. That's all you're good for. All right? That's all you're good for is hooking. That's it. That's all you're good for.
You know what?
That's it.
Just because that's all you know how to do, doesn't mean that's all I know how to do.
That's what you're going to do, all right?
You tell him, girl. Thorpes are running out of ideas.
I want a lot of cash out here in Chicago, so you know what?
Was that really Grace in Ruby's chat the other night?
And you're going to be working it, all right? All right? Anybody need something? Anybody need something, really? Anybody need something? Really? Really? Look
How dare you, ATF?
Okay. Okay, here's what's happening. She's basically told you that she's not going to do it anymore.
She's going to do it.
You can't threaten her. Don't dare threaten her. She's on her own. You could better find some other way to make a living. Find somebody else.
Take him out, dude. Don't let Jerry talk to you like that. I'm sure when he comes to her house at 1 o'clock in the morning and he's like threatening to kick the door down, she's like, now listen, Jerry said you had to leave me alone. He's like, oh, I forgot. My bad.
And for the past 3 months, I've been making your wife the wildest sexual favors you've ever seen.
Oh my lord. Hoss battle.
Tap into your insanity. For your free tickets to the Jerry Springer Show, call 312-321-5365.
Brittle nails that break and won't grow? Get Nutrinail. Short brittle nails grow in just 5 to 7 days. Nutrinail. Short brittle nails grow. Guaranteed.
Drink coffee. Look how it stains your teeth. You need Plus White.
Okay.
Coffee
Oh,
Drinkers
that's right,
toothpaste
Stephen
to
David.
whiten
Yeah.
away coffee stains fast. Plus White Coffee Drinkers toothpaste.
I was just I was really high and kind of like going in and out on Ruby's stream. And then all of a sudden I saw like chat started moving really fast and a bunch of like negativity toward Grace. And then I saw Grace Thorpe and I thought, well, I wonder if it's a real one. And I was like, Grace Thorpe laugh. I was like laugh emoji in the middle of like all this hate.
Stop shaving your legs. Switch to the hair off mitten. It buffs away hair fast and easy. No nicks, no cuts. Leaves your legs silky smooth. A hair off mitten sure beats shaving.
I like the way you work it. No diggity. I thought the back.
Why you frontin'? You know you really want it.
Man, imagine when you could get all this music in one place. 32 motherfucking hits with 2 motherfucking cassette tapes on the side.
From the Jeep to the street, these are the hits with more bounce to the ounce. You can order this collection online at musicbreaks.com.
Wow. Oh, that was a good one. R. Kelly.
Why wait? Order this collection by Rush Delivery.
Every single one of these is going to claim this video.
Get to it. Get Monster Jams now. To order, have your credit card ready. Call the number on your screen.
Monster Jams.
Musicbreaks.com. Rush Delivery available.
Wow.
Get everything you know.
Okay.
What you've been told
Certainly.
about your credit. At
Absolutely.
Bill Hurd Chevrolet, we help people every
Forget
day
what
with
you
a
heard and come meet Bill Hurd.
bankruptcies, discharge, divorce, or repo. It's our goal to get you financed.
The Thorpes got to call this guy.
You could qualify for up to $20,000 in auto credit right now. Plus,
Oh, I thought he was a lawyer.
we'll pay off your trade-in
He's a car
regardless of what you
salesman.
owe.
My bad.
The only
Bill
dealer you'll
Hurd.
need to see
Mr. Big Volume.
Home phone disconnected? Well, here's how to get it back on.
Mr. Big Volume.
DPI, they're the best. Visit any DPI Teleconnect payment center in
DP
town.
reference.
Just $39.95. No deposit or credit checks. Then call DPI and you're back on the phone. Fast.
You know, something I wanted to do, someone posted like, I think it was like 2.5 hours of just overnight programming from Cartoon Network, where it was just all different. Like, it was just like a night of the infomercials and shit. And I was like, I could totally vibe to that on stream.
Real phone service, real fast.
Get connected at Rentway, Ace Check Cashing, Cash America Pawn, Ace TV Rentals, or Winn-Dixie. And be sure to ask for DPI.
It's Watson's Above Ground Pool $99 installation sale.
Save up to half off on any round or oval pool and get it installed.
Mike Lindell here.
$99? Yes, $99.
See the latest in calf spas and Viking spas. Spas as low as
4 days of silence in court next Monday.
same as cash.
We've got the best brand name patio furniture.
Well, you know Ben, he likes to play his cards close to the... I can't even say it with a straight face.
At Watson's, you get the best break in town.
They could be still enjoying their YouTube money.
On the next Jerry Springer.
I like sex. The freakier, the better.
Jerry, man, I'm scared, man.
A freaky hour of Springer.
I'm tired of being with you. I'd rather be with your mom.
A young woman dumped for her own mother.
I want to be with him too.
And the husband becomes a hooker.
Baby, I've been prostituting.
And where's the money? We're broke.
Cheaters on a rampage.
Where's the money?
It's leather and lace.
I'll take over security.
This is a regular Saturday night down at Fusion Studios. Oh, that's awesome, Stephen David.
Welcome back.
Maybe
Again,
Grace
they
has a
say,
black
like
eye.
Man through the hourglass, so is this a Springer to remember. Please. I have no idea why I say that. Please meet Alan. Alan says size does matter when it comes to love.
Wow.
Alan, what are you talking about?
Well, Jerry, I was obsessed by two voluptuous, mouth-watering, I tell you, boobs. You know what I mean, Jerry? Boobs.
You what? You were obsessed with...
Well, two voluptuous, mouth-watering, mounds of female love. You know what I mean?
Mounds of female love. He's talking about the C cup. Well, he's probably talking about D cuppers.
Makes you smile, huh?
Oh, yeah. And I was loving it. And Jerry, I tell you.
So you love women's breasts?
Right. Well, this is what happened, Jerry. Well, see, when God created women...
You love women's breasts.
This woman here, he had it all. He put it all in the right perspective. But there's a problem. The boobs I'm talking about, they don't belong to my lady.
Oh.
See, what happens is every morning when I go see my lady, you know, at the Waffle House where she works at, you know, I have my
so your girlfriend works at the Waffle House.
Yeah. I have my usual breakfast, you know. So and I discovered this new waitress, you know, and she had a set of boobs on her, Jerry, you know, that you can get
This
lost
guy's
in, you know what I
great.
mean, Jerry? So what happened was, so my girl, she came to me and she said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just fine," you know. And I looked at the new waitress. I said, "Well, the breakfast is fine." So she says, "Yes, well, I want to introduce you to one of the new waitresses, right?"
Great
She
yap
brought her over to me,
potential.
And when the girl bent down and looked at me, you know, I was lost in them boobs. And she was saying, "Well, you know, Alan, this is so-and-so, so-and-so, this is Alan." And I was like, yeah, I had to turn away, trying to eat my breakfast, you know, get my mind off it, but I was attracted. I kept going right back at it and back at it again, you know. So I just ignored it, right?
We got to
So
see
all of a
these
sudden,
titties, right?
She kept on. She went back to work to do her thing, and so about 10 minutes later, she came back over and she said, "Hey, Alan, you know that waitress, that new waitress that I introduced you to?" I said, "Yeah. What about it?" She said, "Yeah, she don't have a place to stay, and she wants to know if she can live with us, you know, for a while." Well, I said, "Well, let me think about it, you know." But in the back of my mind, it was like, hell yeah, bring them boobs home to daddy, you know. So I guess after I had my breakfast and everything, that evening she brought her home, and the girl was living with us for about 2 months. But you know, I was still attracted. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Whoa, it's home to daddy. So now, about 2 months went by, and then my lady, she had to pull a double shift.
Yeah.
So that day she pulled a double shift, and
you started messing around with.
But before I started messing around, I was trying to be cool.
Sorry, Rico woke up and one of the cats was by him and he like freaked out. I had to go set him at ease.
Watching TV, Jerry, you know. And so when she came out the bathroom, I noticed she came out there with this tank top with no bra and them short pants. And then when she came out when she was looking at me, I was looking at them breasts, and at the same time I was like, oh, here we go. So then after that.
Did you go?
Oh, yo, I went for it, Jerry. But the only thing I feel sorry about it. That's why I'm here, you know, to let my girl know, you know, because we've been together for 4 years, you know, and she's never been unfaithful to me. You know, I haven't been unfaithful with her neither.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't either. Until
this one moved in.
Until this one moved in, you know, because, you know, this is something new to me, too, you see? So, it happened.
Something new to him?
I don't know what to tell her. She don't know, but I guess I have to tell her.
Do you really care about this other woman?
No, well, I just like her for the boobs, you know what I mean? But I love.
There you go.
All right, you'll get a chance to tell her when we come back.
There's the guy who in the documentary says if he could have shown public executions, he would have. Look at this vibe. This is your wake-up call for a thrilling new season at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. Memphis area Jerry Springer episode.
The Six Flags magic is back. A new season of thrills is yours at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom.
Isn't that where didn't Jim Cornette have OVW shows there?
And thrills for all ages, including Hurricane Bay Water Park. Find entertainment and excitement for all ages at Six Flags.
That world doesn't exist anymore, guys. It's just a mirage.
When a woman's fed up, you better be ready to laugh, cry, and empathize. When a woman
Get ready to laugh, cry, and empathize.
Patrice Lovely and Jada Alexander. A gospel play like no other. When a woman's fed up.
The woman fed up. When a woman fed up.
Boy meets girl. It happens every day on the singles line. Just call our free local number and listen to hundreds of single men and women from Nashville. We don't use 900 numbers, and
We are in the Memphis territory. This is so
Call
cool.
anytime and discover a new way to meet the nicest people in Nashville. The Nashville Singles Line, 399.
The simulation shining on us today.
Do you know this guy? You should. That's me, John Leslie, 123 pounds ago. You can achieve the same dramatic results, whether you want to stop smoking or lose weight. I've invited my dear friend, hypnotherapist John Morgan, to help you
Hypnotherapist.
John, as you know, our sessions are safe, they're fun, very effective. No patches, no diet pills. Using hypnosis, I'll give you the tools to help you stop smoking or lose weight once and for all. It'll change your life, and your family will love you for it.
Charmed, Thursdays at 8 on WNAB-TV Nashville.
Oh man, remember Charmed?
Is your marriage falling apart because of cheating? Would you like to settle things once and for all on our show? If so, please call us at 1-800-96-JERRY.
This has been a great, pretty great run of episodes.
Welcome back.
Pre-Ozempic.
We've been talking here with
When a
Alan.
woman
Alan has
fed
a
up.
3-year relationship with his girlfriend, but when every morning he goes to where she works. She's
Buffy was better.
waitress at a Waffle House, and she introduces him to another woman who works there, and Alan is just amazed by her
Boobs.
he says boobs. Alan, being
This
no
guy
fool
would be
himself,
big on TikTok, I think.
decides, well, she needed a place to stay, so both you and your girlfriend said she could stay with you guys, and what happened is after a couple of months, you slept with her. A couple of times.
Well, after the first shot at it, it was like periodic, it was non-stop, I was like, whoa, I couldn't stop. I was mesmerized,
After the-
hypnotized to them boobs,
Here is your girlfriend, Elizabeth.
After the first shot, he was mesmerized. Oh, here she comes.
Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Fine, thanks. You guys have been together, he says, for 4 years.
Yes.
Oh, this is the wife or the
And,
girlfriend.
Elizabeth,
Okay.
every morning he has breakfast with you at the Waffle House.
What do you think? AI, time traveler? What do you think about this woman here?
Sure does.
That's where you work. And how did you meet? At the Waffle House?
Yes, we did, Jerry.
Oh, so he's a big pancake guy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't know why you're here?
No, Jerry, I don't.
Why don't you talk to her?
Well, you know I love you.
Yeah.
For the last 4 years. I mean, you've been good to me. You know, the last 4 years has just been beautiful. That's the best thing ever happened to you. You know, and, you know, you never tried to hurt me. I never tried to hurt you neither. You know that, right? But, you know, at the Waffle House, when you introduced me to our room, you know, the girl that you wanted to live with us, you know, it wasn't nothing going on, but something happened. You know, I had a problem, you know, a little problem. I don't know if I can get, well, I have to tell you. Well, I was sleeping with Renee.
With who?
Big boob Renee.
Renee. Yeah. You've got to be kidding.
Big boob Renee.
But you know I love
After 4 years, you're going to dump me for Renee? Big boob Renee?
No, I don't love Renee. It was just
Just
something
call
that
it
happened.
BB?
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, am I not enough woman for you?
You're enough woman for me. You know I love you, too.
I mean, is this not enough for you, honey?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How can you do this? I thought more of you than that.
But I don't love her. You know I love you.
Let's meet her. Here's Renee.
Oh, wow. Here we go. Oh, wow. Wow. Big mouth slut. Yes, this is a USA moment. Oh!
He doesn't care anything
No,
about
see, he loves me. Tell her if you love me.
You know, I've been around
He's not
for 4
gonna give
years.
up.
You know, that was just 2 months. I don't hardly know you. It was only 2 months. Just 2
Oh.
months. I was just going for your breast. That was it. That was it. Because I love her. I've been with her for 4 years.
You want this right life. You told me
Get off my man.
I love,
My man.
I love her.
No. 4 years.
No,
You don't give up 4 years.
No, you want to be with me.
I love her.
You want to be with me. You know it.
That was just a month. That was just a one night stand.
No, you want to be with me. You know it.
True, Ananje.
And matter of fact, you can get your crap. Shut up and get out my house. You little
Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
We'll be back. Take a ride on the wild side. For your free tickets to the Jerry Springer Show, call 312-321-5365.
Good old Renee.
Hey, looking great. The Conair rechargeable beard and mustache trimmer. Moves in close, trims any style with laser precision. Looking great.
Those guys were awesome. Did you see that cool, like, synchronized come together? That didn't sound good.
Garlic or up to 6 of some other brands. Garlic, cholesterol's natural enemy.
They killed nearly 200 people and simply disappeared.
This was airing during... Wait, when is this one? Oh, no, wait. This is 02. Never mind. The Lisa that we watched aired while prime time was on the air. Jason X is underrated, in my opinion.
Stick your head out and have a peek.
Starts Friday, April 26th. Home phone disconnected? Well, here's how to get it back on. DPI. Got it? Then get it. DPI. They're the best.
DPI, the famous twins, the rappers always talk about people being on DPI. I never understood what that meant. Do you think that's what they're talking about? DPI Teleconnect?
Real phone service. Real fast.
Get connected at Rentway. Ace check cashing.
Is that like some kind of like low rent telephone service?
For DPI.
Spider-Man will only take his mask off for one thing. Well, make that two things. The Hardee's $6 burger. Put one in your mouth before seeing Spider-Man in theaters May 3rd. The $6 burger, only $3.95 at Hardee's.
You are not going out dressed like that.
Not without a chaperone. I have an idea.
What's your name?
Her name is Illegal Minor.
VoiceStream gives you so many minutes, there's no limit to how you can use them. Don't pay more, just get more.
Her name is what?
Man, does this song ever end?
On the next Jerry Springer, a freaky hour of Springer. Cheaters on a rampage. On the next Jerry Springer.
Very unenthusiastic guy there at the end. Her name is Illegal Minor. That's a weird commercial. What did that even mean? It's like an age alert on the girl's phone, but it's her dad calling from home. I don't understand.
His brother's girlfriend had to hit the streets or get between the sheets.
Former UFC fighter Andy Anderson look-alike.
What's going on?
Jerry, there's just one thing I want to clear up here today before we even get started.
What do you want to clear
There's
up?
5 things I hate in life. That's a married-ass, hoary wife, a Jew, and a fat-ass slob. I got every one of them on the show with me today.
Wow, what a heel promo. Yo, what?
Thank you. Welcome back. My guest today.
Did you expect this guy to come out like shot out of a cannon with this promo? Way to grab the crowd like immediately.
They let their desires get
Holy shit.
them on this a Springer to remember.
I'd have been at home and like signed that guy.
Please meet Gene. Gene says his brother's girlfriend had to hit the streets or get between the sheets. Gene, what? What's going on?
Jerry, there's just one thing I want to clear up here today before we even get started.
What do you want?
Wow.
There's 5 things I hate in life. That's a married-ass, hoary wife, a Jew, and a fat-ass slob. I got every one of them on the show with me today. You people, shut up! I don't care about you. I got nothing they want to say.
Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta sign this guy. I'd give him a run in my territory.
You seem like a friendly fellow.
What? Y'all bring up me to get along with. Anybody got a problem with that?
Okay, so what's your problem?
My problem is my fat-ass brother. I'm sick of him.
Fat-ass brother.
All my life I played second fiddle to this fat bastard.
Is that how you hurt your hand?
Yeah, that's how I hurt my hand. Let me tell you something. I come out, man, all my life I've been following second fiddle to him. I've been having to. We played basketball. He scored 2 more points a game. Everybody appreciated him more. We played sports. I played one position. He played a better one. Everybody appreciated it. Just made me damn that. Made me sick, Jerry.
Acknowledge me.
Oh, shut up. Just made me sick, see? When I found out that he lost his job, he lost everything, he got kicked out of his house. Oh, shut up. Okay, see? He lost everything. I was the first man to stand up and say, all right, yeah, that's the way to go, big brother. Yeah, I'm proud to see you flat on your face, living life of luxury.
What has he done to you?
I know, that's what I was thinking, Daninsky.
That's just a natural born fact. I can't stand him.
He's
I
got
hate
the
his
gimmick
guts.
injury
So,
that was pointed out to us for some reason.
been alive. See? So I went and got him. I told him, I said, brother, come live with me, big brother. Got there and told his wife. I seen him out to look for a job. I told his wife. I said, hey, you going to live with me? You're going to do sexual favors. So you're going to pay the bills for y'all.
Wow.
She thought I was laughing. So I got in her face, and I got right up in her face. I told her, I said, hey, drop to your knees or hit the streets, baby. They still live with me today.
Wow.
They still live with me today.
They still live with him today.
I hate the man. Every woman that I've ever been attracted to or liked, they was all with me, trying to get closer to my older brother because of his athletic ability in school and everything. And I hate him. I can't stand the air he breathes. I'd rather see him laying in a ditch getting mud splattered on him than anything than living in my house. But I got to do what I got to do to get revenge on this fat bastard.
Does your brother know you feel this way about him?
No.
When you're around him, you act like a nice guy.
I just act like I like him, just to torment his life. I've never liked him.
Here he is, your loving brother Howard.
Here we go. Hoss battle. Oh, shit. Oh, my Lord. Here comes Wings of Redemption. Amazing.
You are brothers.
We're brothers.
Welcome. Nice to have you here.
How you doing, Jerry?
Fine, thanks. And so you grew up together. You're the big brother?
Yeah, I mean, I practically raised him. We got a great relationship.
So you don't know why you're here?
No, but I'm just a little bit worried. I've seen your show, Jerry.
Yeah. Okay, well, tell him. He wants to know why he's here. He's seen the show.
Well, let me stand up for this. I'll get more pleasure.
Oh, here we go.
I just want to tell you, first of all, I hate your guts. I can't stand you. I wish you'd kill over dead and fall on that woman in front row right now. I hate you. And for the past 3 months, I've been making your wife do the wildest sexual favors you've ever seen.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I
can't take this shit no more.
What? I've hated you. You've been sleeping with my wife. Sleeping ain't the word for it. I've been doing everything imaginable with that woman. Why? Because I hate your guts. I want to ruin your life. I want it to ruin
Oh, man, this is like nature run amok.
I want it to ruin your life. Why, though? All the years of growing up, we played sport. You always got more credit. We played football, you got more credit.
Come on now. Come on,
the women got close.
This is better than the movies they make now.
You just shut up and sit down, you fat
Oh, my God.
Why women don't want to have nothing to you. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because you're full of yourself, buddy. You're full of yourself.
He kind of looks like like Tommy Dreamer. Doink. Before he sits both of them down.
I don't even think she's having nothing to do with a pig like you anyway.
Yes, she is. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Well, let's find out.
Let's bring her out. Okay, let's take a moment here. I've got this is a real hot shot episode. My anxiety's up. I got to take just a minute to relax before they bring her out. Center myself. All right. Oh my God, what?
Hold on, I just want to know right now. Wait, just wait a minute. First of all, I want to know, is what he's telling me true? Is what he's telling me true?
He's Harley Race.
Speak up. Is what he's telling me true?
I slept with him for 3 months. Had sex with him for 3 months. Because he told me if I didn't have sex with him, that we're just going to be thrown out on the street.
But listen, though, when we got married, we talked it over to each other. And we agreed if anything ever happened, we would talk it over. And you didn't say nothing to me about that. You didn't say nothing to me.
Well, I wanted to tell Howard, I wanted to tell you, but he told me if I did, then he would say that I threw myself at him.
You think I would have stuck with you all the way. I would have stuck with you.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
Howard, I was afraid that
You know
you
why?
would believe him over me.
Stupid. Shut up now. I'm talking to her. I'm talking to her.
Come on, we need the heel to come in. This lady's fumbling.
Not me.
I was going to No.
You told me if I didn't have sex with you, that you'd kick us out on the street.
Sit there over. Look.
I never did.
Wouldn't the street be better?
That's what I'm going to tell you what right now. When we get home, we're out of there. I'm talking about, I don't care if I got to live in a cardboard box somewhere. I don't care if I got to live in the streets. I don't care if I got to stay in Chicago. in a back alley somewhere. It's a lot better than living with your butt, boy. Don't worry about it, hey.
He's like, hey, listen, I'm homeless now, and the crowd applauds. Like, I'm out on the streets. Jerry. You're out of here. You ain't walking out. I'm a firing you. Get the hell out.
One day you're going to regret everything you ever said to me. See, because what goes around comes around. And you're going to need help. Just like you needed help.
Sucker
all them
punch him.
other times. But I'm not going to be there for you. Because it's like this. The word brother. You take the BR away from it, that's bro. And all you got is other. And from now on, that's all you are to me. You're just the other man.
Yeah, that's it, buddy.
Let me tell you something. I'd rather go asking for a Jew or
Wow, why does he just keep dropping slurs for no reason?
But you don't talk about these good people in Chicago. You got something to deal with me.
You don't talk about cheap heat. Come on, bro. The good people of Chicago.
I'm tired of it. Jerry, I'm tired of it. When I get home,
I believe you're tired. We'll be back.
Woo! What a ride.
On the WB Thursday, TV Guide hails Gilmore Girls as a dynamic duo, TV's most valuable players. A special presentation of Gilmore Girls. Then, they welcomed in an evil that will destroy them from within.
Something's not right.
Close your eyes.
Anything for you.
One of their own lured into darkness. An all-new Charmed after a special presentation of Gilmore Girls.
Thursday night, starting at 7 on Nashville's WB58.
Now you can drive a new car.
After this episode ends, there's a brief interview, and I saw it. It's been coming up in my algorithm, and I thought, you know what, it would fit in on on a daytime talk show thing. But it's an interview that takes place at like the Egyptian pyramids, and Geraldo Rivera interviews Frank Sinatra at the pyramids.
Car regardless of your past credit history, just by calling Automart Kia at 1-800-370-6897. You can be pre-approved in as little as 5 minutes or less.
That was a Mick Foley, 100%.
In as little as 30 minutes with no money down. New Kia Rio's just $69.99 or $0 down, $109 a month. And every new Kia comes with Kia's 10-year or 100,000-mile long-haul warranty. Call Automart Kia at 1-800-370.
Then maybe we'll watch a Bethadone deep cut. I found a pretty interesting old video of hers. Ooh, it's a hip-hop circus. Universe Soul.
It's circus with a whole new flavor. It's a magical ride with death-defying acrobats, thrills, and chills.
Dude, I would go to see this in a heartbeat, man. This looks amazing.
Through May 5th at Ted Rose Park in Nashville. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations or charge 615-255-9600.
Do you know this guy? You should. That's me, John Leslie, 100.
That looked lit. I thought it looked great.
You can achieve the same dramatic results, whether you want to stop smoking or lose weight. I've invited my dear friend, hypnotherapist John Morgan, to help you too. John, as you know, our sessions are safe, they're fun, very effective. No patches, no diet pills. Using hypnosis, I'll give you the tools to help you
Meet me at the Radisson Hotel.
once and for all. It'll change your life, and your family will love you for it.
Super Grover, wow, at the Radisson.
You have a wild, shocking secret for a loved one? You want to tell them on our show? If so, please call 1-800-96-JERRY.
Yeah, isn't that just funny? It's a weird thing to happen. A pyramid interview with Geraldo and Frank Sinatra.
All right, my question, what's that guy with the white hair in the back? Yeah, what do you really get out of it? Because either you're just snatching up sloppy seconds or you're in the closet.
Oh! Boom! Wow. Sniped him from the back row.
First of all, howdy doody, you probably ain't never even been with a woman. Sorry, Sherman and Septic, the tank twins. I didn't anyway, what I get out of it is a whole lot. I get to see my woman in action.
Good Lord. Okay, yes. This is to the older Waffle House waitress. You need to kick him out and stop serving up his sausage. You know, respect yourself. Move out on your own. You don't need that.
Yeah, I would have booed that shit. He had terrible delivery.
Hey, this for the breastfed baby in the front. You need to lay off the booze, bro, because you done sucked the teeth right out your mouth.
Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it.
I love it.
This is for the pole pimp up there. What kind of pimp are you? A pole pimp or something? Where your jewels and diamond and everything else?
Don't worry about it. I'll put you to work, so, come on down. Come on, you buy me some more jewels. Come on down, baby. I'll straighten you out.
What's he gonna do? Fight her if she goes down there?
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, this is for Mitch. I was just wondering if I can get in the closet with you.
Come on,
Wow. Rat magnet, Mitch Ryder for sure. What an episode. Wow. Here we go again. Oh, everybody's going. I'm glad for everybody that's here that is sharing this moment with us.
Hey, Jerry, I got a question. Jerry,
What was the question?
Hey, Jerry.
Go ahead,
Jerry, I got a question.
I just want to know why all you fat people keep on standing up and show us all of your big eyes.
Oh, wow. Show the A cuppers. What a great episode. Wow. Incredible. We used to live in a society. Always the ones you don't want to see. What a spectacle.
The question I'm most asked is, where do you find your guests? But after what I've just seen, I think the question really is, where do you find the audience?
Unleash your wild side.
Man, I feel like we've been through the ringer. Wow.
On the next Jerry Springer.
I like sex. The freakier, the better.
Jerry, man, I'm scared, man.
A freaky hour of Springer.
I'm tired of being with you. I'd rather be with your mom.
A young woman dumped for her own mother.
I want to be with him too.
And a husband becomes a hooker.
Baby, I've been prostituting.
And where's the money? We're broke.
Cheaters on a rampage.
Man, that one guy would really cut a promo.
Hi, folks. This is John Blackwell of Clayton Homes of Lebanon. Buying a new home, we realize is not
Lebanon?
that you take lightly. We specialize in finding
Man,
the right
imagine the
location for
tariffs
your
this
home
guy's
and we're
facing
experts
now.
on those little extras. Right now at Clayton Homes of Lebanon, we have a 4-bedroom double wide loaded with all the comforts of home for only $42.9. Plus, we can do a land home package with very little down and not a lot of credit. Come see us today at Clayton Homes of Lebanon, next to Prime Outlets Mall on 231 South.
In today's high-tech business world,
High-tech business world. This is so cool. Oh, man.
in charge of solving computer-related problems, managing databases,
Look at all these screens and
creating websites, and administering computer
old
networks.
tech.
If you want your career to be a vital part of the information superhighway, High-Tech Institute can train you to become a networking professional. Call High High-Tech Institute now at 1-800-925-4987.
Not very trad to flash your tits on Springer.
DPI. Got it? Then get it. DPI. They're the best.
DPI.
DPI Teleconnect Payment Center in town. Get started for just $39.95. No deposit or credit checks. Then call DPI and you're back on the phone. Fast.
DP.
Real phone service. Real fast.
Get connected at Rentway, Ace Check Cashing, Cash America Pawn.
Come get your phone service at a pawn shop or Winn-Dixie. Yeah, it was 90s, and then WWF, or WWE, kept it like way after that too. What's his name? Really loved it, the director guy.
Good luck in the decisions that you make now. Hope
Kevin
it works out
Dunn.
for you. You know, the rules have changed. I'm not suggesting that's a good thing, nor am I saying that they've changed for everyone, but for most of our culture, sex is not just an activity between married partners anymore. For better or worse, nearly everybody tries it by the time they're 21. Overwhelmingly, most enjoy it. The religious and societal taboos that used to say it's a no-no outside of marriage have withered away. So more and more people with little guilt are separating sex and love. That is to say, they're willing to have sex with people they don't truly love, and willing to love someone without committing to them to sexual exclusivity. We see it every day on our show. We see it every day in our lives. So knowing that we can no longer count on society requiring or enforcing the rule of sex only in marriage...
Man, I can feel like at the portal opening.
No assumptions can be made about fidelity other than what two people promise each other.
All my edible highs are combining into one kind of like perfect storm high, and I'm George Clooney on the boat.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
All right, so next is the Geraldo
Swell, you like big boobs, huh?
interview.
Oh, man. It's scrumptiously delicious.
You couldn't help yourself, huh?
I know, man. It was just one of those things there.
Don't stop it, huh?
I know. But, you know, those are the type of boobs that you fall into, you know what I mean? And you can't get out of, you know?
Well, you know, I do have a strong addiction to something, too, like you do with the boobs. I like Waffle House.
You like the Waffle House?
Oh, man,
it's
so good.
Oh, man, don't go to the Waffle House, I'll tell you, man.
Come on, it's good.
Oh, man, you can't stop the moves, I'll tell you.
I like Waffle House.
I'm a C-cupper devotee, I feel like.
Bacon. Crispy bacon.
Yeah. You should try them grits, I'll tell you, boy.
All right, let's hope this interview is good.
How would you characterize your style of singing?
Very unusual. Most unusual. Because I'd like to try to explain that to you. When I say most unusual, I have to base it on the fact that I've heard mimics through all of the years who do actors and singers. I never heard anybody do me. So, and I'd love somebody to do. I'd be flattered if somebody would do that. But I've seen them try, but the inflections are not there and the breath control is not there. It's fun to watch it, but it's really not true, you know.
They're worried about patent infringement, I think.
No, not at all. But that's why I say it's an unusual style.
At the
And
pyramids,
it came about,
man.
It'll take much too long to explain. It came about through a period of 25 years, you know.
Tell me, just...
Well, no, it takes too long. You know, it's a matter of physical condition, swimming underwater in my early years, never above the water, to develop big lung power. And listening to some of the fine musicians that I've known all my life. Tommy Dorsey, Heifetz, not even knowing the man. But watching him use a bow and a violin gave me thoughts about, for instance, he could hardly hear, there was not a perceptive sound when he came back.
This is like trying to talk to me in real life. I don't have any idea what this guy is saying.
Down again, and I thought if I could do that vocally, it would be interesting because the phraseology gets longer all the time. So that's all part of what it took. It took a lot of years. It would take some time to teach anybody that. I'd like to be able to teach somebody what I know, but it takes too long, and everybody's in a hurry today.
Today, it would seem that people go into a studio, they maybe sing one phrase and then stop and sing another phrase, they stitch it together.
Well, no, I don't do that. I wouldn't know how to do that, no. I may be one of the few people, except for Barbra Streisand, who performs in the middle of the orchestra, right in the studio.
Gary
And,
Como at
no
Stonehenge.
headphones,
Oh my
and a
God.
booth, a glassed-in booth. Because I need the drive of the orchestra. I mean, I find that it's complimenting to me, you know, and it helps a great deal. And I get a kick out of it, you know.
This is so great
Also,
being
the
this
balance,
high.
the
Like,
same
this is
thing,
fantastic.
The prettiness of the music.
Oh, there we go. Wow. Wow. Singing to King Tut.
Even subconsciously, I try to work the entire audience. I mean,
Oh,
by taking
1980,
all
by
its
the way.
perfections. And I guess it's a theatrical trait that most performers have. If, for instance, you might be working somewhere and you find someone they may not be, but they look slightly bored. Well, you work on him, or he or she. You work on that particular person to see if you can't get him to come up to life again, you know.
You can't tell me there's going to be a problem with a bored person tonight.
No. I don't mean that they're bored, but some of them get, I don't know, they get a kind of faraway look in their eye, and I don't know quite how to accept that all the time. But I think that most people work to an audience per se, the entire audience. Well, that's why they're here, you know. Although I have seen certain people who will be nameless who begin to work to the ceiling and to this guy in the spotlight booth up there.
I think I saw like a headline article, but at this point, I feel like everything is AI, so I never know whether something is real or not. But I think I saw the headline, but I thought like, that sounds kind of AI, but I'll have to check it out.
And the sound booth, and he really doesn't care too much about the audience.
He retired once. I asked him about it.
I meant about retiring. I was weary. I was tired. I had been working very hard all those years, and I enjoyed it. I stayed home, and I caught up on a lot of reading, and I just did nothing. I sat down, and I played a lot of music. I'm a big buff of the opera and of classics, and saw a lot of my friends, more than I had been able to see them prior to the so-called retirement. And then through a great deal of pressure, from beginning with my own children, and fan mail and stuff, and people in the industry, after a year and a half, we decided that we would turn around again and do a little more work. And I must say I was slightly embarrassed by it, because I thought they'd probably feel, well, what is this, one of these things where it's going to come back and then go back again and come back again. It was really not a comeback. I just took a vacation.
Dude, this is such a great interview. It's just 6 minutes of existence that now we know about. We traded 6 minutes of our existence to witness this. God damn, listen to him go. Wow.
Just to be the best that you can be. And I've tried to do that almost every time I perform.
No, I don't think I have. I've really cut back on like my YouTube lately.
Remember once Benny Goodman, I saw him at a benefit.
I have it in my like watch pile though, like my watch queue.
At a large benefit, and off in the corner somewhere, Benny was noodling on a clarinet. And every time I had seen him anywhere, he was always practicing. And I learned something from him. I said to him, why do you do that all the time, Benny? I said, you're constantly working with the instrument. He said, I do it because if I'm not great, I'm good. And I tried to follow that philosophy, and I think it works. I vocalize an hour a day, whether we're working or not. Sometimes 2 hours a day if I feel I haven't had enough.
Ben Thorpe
So that if I'm
vocalizes
called
like 12
upon,
hours a day.
It's there. The muscles are all there, and everything is fine.
Oh, okay, hang on a second. We don't want to watch a Jim Cornette. Okay. Give me just a second here to look this up. Okay. This is a long title, and I want to make sure I get the right video. Okay, here it is. Okay. Hold on, I gotta move my mic. Trying and reviewing 2 coats of Bondi Sands gradual tanning lotion. Okay, let's... Space. Whoops. Methadone. Oh, there we go.
Hello? I would like to, I'm going to review, oh, the light's in the way. I'm going to review this Pacifica self-tanner, or tanning stuff. So this is what my skin looks like before, the coloring. The window's right back there, sorry, but yeah, this is the coloring before. Oops.
This is the before.
This is what my skin color is before. Take note of it. And then I'm gonna put on a coat and then put this back on late, like a little bit later after it's dry, so I don't get it on the garment. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna see if there's a difference. I might even do 2 coats. One sec. Hey. So
One sec.
After 1 coat. I think there's a slight difference. I think there is. I'm gonna put on 1 more coat and we can look again. Let's just remember this shade. It's all loose, and the one thing about being a twiggy alien is like it's literally gaping from like here and here. It's like there's empty space here. I can't wait to fill out that space. Anyway, I'm gonna put on another coat. Hey, so this is 1 more coat. Let me get the lighting exactly the same so it looks the same. This is 1 more coat, and you can tell now. It's
Now we got 2 coats.
I've done it now. Like, look at that. I look like a cinnamon girl.
Cinnamon girl.
See? You can tell that I have some color to me now.
Hollywood just can't compete with
the first videos.
YouTube.
I don't even need to check them. I just gotta put them together and it'll work. But yeah. What's that neat? Who sings that song, Cinnamon Girl? Oh yeah. Neil Young. Fuck that guy.
Oh, Neil Young. Fuck that guy. No, she doesn't, Bob Brown. Well, I thought that would be a fun way to end. Who's that guy that sings a song? Neil Young. Oh yeah, fuck him. All right, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow for Prime Time with George Dorunda. Friday is Memphis Wrestling. Saturday's Boyd Watch. There's going to be new members videos going up. I did 2 new taste tests. One of them of that commemorative cookie from like a month ago, the IRL at the zoo. But anyway, I got to go. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.